the game can see the boxing voice.
Welcome back, gang, for the first time and hopefully many more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications right here, this little bell, so you can get those emails every time we go live.
The fuck's going on here?
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
BoxingVoice.com. All the guys want, I want what Mayweather got. I want what Mayweather got. You didn't bust your ass like Mayweather. I was trying to fight every fighter. I sacrificed a lot
DeGale Production
to get to where I got to.
What do you bring to the table?
Let's get this on. Let's do it. Well, it's like this. Wait.
All right, that's it. Hold on. Bernard, everybody calm down.
Man, you know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I sacrificed a lot.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Hashtag TBV Podcast, wherever hashtags are used to follow along with the conversation, the debate, the discussion. We're going to be talking about so much here today. We got 5 topics. Once again, Matthew, I'm going to start calling him the villain hunter, to the rescue for all the MMA folk.
The villain
somehow has Floyd Mayweather as a headlining topic because he is expected to come back in the octagon. Now, I was specific about not wanting to talk about this, but I guess Matt.
No, you were not. Stop lying.
Matt,
Stop lying. You were not. You were not specific. Come on.
All right. Well, he wants to ruin the introduction. We could go ahead and start it. I mean, I could have sworn yesterday I told you I didn't care about that. And I didn't want to talk. I mean, but whatever. You know, second topic is obviously the true topic, Jarrett Hurd.
True.
Becoming a unified 154-pound champion. Underdog story for sure. Deserves the bulk of our conversation. The beginning of the show. I don't know. James DeGale, redemption, gets his title back. A little bit controversial. We'll ask you guys how'd you score it. And Floyd Mayweather back in the news because he says he's making Gervonta Davis versus Vasyl Lomachenko as soon as Davis defeats Quellar in April. Now, we have some theories attached to that, and we'll discuss those in detail. Here on this show, we obviously have news and notes for any other topics that we might have missed. So if this is something you're interested in, if this is the topics you want to discuss today, then you know where to be. And the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 right here to voice your opinion on the Voice of the People hotline. International callers or anyone who has chosen to download the free Skype app on both Android and iPhone can add Nestor Gibbs and be part of the conversation on Skype, calling absolutely free internationally and truly having better audio quality. Let me head on out to the Golden State. Couldn't wait. Matt, the Hipster Hunter.
DeGale Production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
BoxingVoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knockout. When the main thing is, I just help the guy. I wish.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yes, the hipsters here. Haters beware. And I know, Ness, you're already hating on me for making Mayweather the leading topic, so to speak, or at least making the whole Mayweather, MMA, UFC topic the lead topic. But it is Mayweather. Unfortunately, as the producer of the show, I have to make, SEO purposes and such. He is the main guy of the sport still. He's still causing 90%.
As the producer, you had to make a fanboy decision?
No, not a fanboy decision. Because I agree. I think the bulk of the discussion is going to be on Jarrett Hurd and Erislandy Lara, as it should be. But Mayweather is still...
I think Mayweather was clear in saying, if I return, I'm returning to the octagon, which clearly eliminates that as a topic for this show. Hence, the boxing voice.
I understand that, but it is still Mayweather. Mayweather still runs boxing. He's still the biggest name in the sport by far. So he will always remain a topic of conversation as long as he stays in the headlines, because 90% of the headlines out there are still about Mayweather. Unfortunately, not about the great, almost instant classic fight we had in Jarrett Hurd, Erislandy Lara.
I wonder why. Because people like you.
True that we know that the casuals recognize Mayweather's name more than Jarrett Hurd, Lara. Am I wrong? And hopefully, when we have casuals in the show, because, it's Mayweather, they go, what about that Jarrett Hurd, Erislandy Lara fight? They kept saying it was amazing. Let me go watch that. And then they become hardcore fans. That's the hope of a show like us, in bringing up a casual topic with a hardcore topic in association. But anyways, digressing, already getting the bingo word for the day. We have tons of topics to get to. Obviously, the Lomachenko, Tank Davis, and again, another Mayweather story, I thought definitely, conquered the headlines, or was at least in the top of the headlines for this weekend so far. Definitely cannot wait to chop up that one. So much to get into. Even the Julian Williams and Nathaniel Gallimore fight, I thought was an interesting style matchup. So can't wait to chop it up with you, Ness, and the callers. Let's go.
Well, I mean, take it away.
Oh, feedback. Oh, my God. Take it away as for the Mayweather MMA shit. I mean, again, it's a small topic, but it's just a big topic. We spoke a little bit about it last night on the Media Reaction Show. Go check that out on YouTube, Facebook, or Blog Talk. But we even said that Mayweather made out his demands. He was very specific. It's about the money. Nobody wants me to do this. Al Heyman doesn't want me to do this. CBS doesn't want me to do this. Showtime doesn't want me to do this. But I know how to make everyone hundreds of millions of dollars. So give me the bag, and let's go make a gigantic spectacle of a fight. Whether you think that's a good thing, whether you like it, whether or not you hate it, I think it's kind of pointless to talk about this point. Because to me, this is real. Like, this is really going to happen. Whether it's against CM Punk, a no-name, or Conor McGregor, this all seems like it is going to happen. And unfortunately, it may not be boxing 100% related, but hopefully it still gives some shine to the sport. Hopefully more casuals start talking about a Thurman, a Joshua, a Wilder, a Spence because of this. I think there was some of that effect with Mayweather and McGregor, that there was this huge casual interest in boxing, that there was a small, very small, maybe even a less than 1 percentile, but that still is an amount. That still is an increase in the viewership of our sport on a hardcore basis. So hopefully it helps. Hopefully it's another thing that we can look at that goes, okay, yeah, this is a sideshow, it's a freak show, but put a Badu Jack, who's a completely respectable champion, on the undercard. Imagine if it was, again, this is ridiculous in fantasy land, but imagine if we had Mayweather versus whoever in the octagon, and then right next to you had a boxing ring with Lomachenko and Gervonta Davis. The idea that could help promote hardcore fights. It can. It absolutely can. You have to actually capitalize on that moment. But I definitely think it's possible. Obviously, Ness is dealing with some stuff, but that is at least my very brief thoughts on the matter. I think Floyd Mayweather is going to do whatever he wants. He's going to do whatever going to make him the most money. And right now, it seems like the most money is in MMA, unfortunately, not in boxing, for Mayweather. But yeah, just another sign that this is to come, that this is about to happen, that this seems like a reality. So it definitely is just something to make note of, something to keep aware of. Again, should not be the lion's share of the conversation tonight, but definitely should be part of the conversation. It is Mayweather. He's still, the second we went from Jesse Vargas in the interview with Jim Gray to Mayweather, I instantly knew we were going to get the MMA talk. We're going to get the UFC talk, and that was going to dominate the headlines. And guess what? That happened. We can sit here and complain about how real fighters and real fights don't get that attention, or we can find ways to capitalize on Mayweather drawing so much media attention for this event, even though it's mainly about him, and finding a way to capitalize that for Jarrett Hurd. That's the secret, I think. But Nestor Gibbs, you're back. How are you?
I don't know. I was giving you time to talk that bullshit. I need that Jamaican soundbite right there. That's that Safari shit. Pull up, you know what I mean? Because whatever. We done with that, so we can talk some Gallimore and Julian Williams.
You want to switch to that and work our way to the top of the card? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
I'm down.
So Julian Williams, last seen looking mediocre-ish to Ishe Smith.
I mean, that you can almost say that that's saying it lightly, because there's a lot of people, me included, that thought he lost that fight. So
okay,
and that was I think that was in like the summertime, like July or August of last year.
Yeah, I enjoyed this fight a lot. It was definitely, I think they labeled it a crossroads fight. And it definitely would have sent Julian Williams on a downward spiral, you know. It was a tough fight. All these fights went to decision actually yesterday. And this was a tough fight. I don't know if Julian expected this tough of a matchup, but I think Gallimore served his purpose, you know, for any of us that had questions after the Jermell Charlo defeat, you know, and whether or not Julian looked tentative and, you know, how he was going to react taking a punch. Gallimore pushed him. He pushed him a lot. You know, I almost regretted not doing a live fight chat. Luckily, we did not, since it was 12 rounds. I mean, we went to sleep like 2:30 in the morning yesterday. It was ridiculous. That being said, a little bit of tennis, man. What did you think of the Jamaican? Very aggressive, very confident.
I'll put it this way.
Gallimore.
You framed your point with about comparing it to the Jermell Charlo and how we questioned J-Rock after that and how maybe we shouldn't question him after this fight, but I don't think that's the case. I think we still saw some major issues in J-Rock's game, his mental game in this fight that has been present in the Ishe Smith fight, in the Jermell Charlo fight, in his career. He does not like to get hit. He is a guy that wants to be in control, that wants to box you at his pace, and the second that is not happening, he becomes uncomfortable. He not gets erratic, but you can tell that he gets uneasy in there. He gets nervous in there. Fortunately for him, Gallimore was not skilled enough, was not efficient enough to capitalize on that. He wasn't able to hit J-Rock really clean with a bunch of shots due to poor punching technique. Gallimore was able to rough him up at times, was able to make it a tougher fight, and definitely shorten that skill gap due to that aggression, due to that willingness to just engage on the inside. But J-Rock was just a little bit better than him, was technically more sound with his punching, seemed to have a game plan set and was working it, was following it. Gallimore did not. But again, I don't know if this is the fight to say, okay, he's shown me that those questions from the Jermell Charlo fight are answered. That's not the case for me yet. He still has a lot of unanswered questions for me. He needs to fight a guy at the top for me to believe that he is a top level fighter in this division. To me, he is a perennial contender.
But I don't think that he was trying to prove he was elite level yesterday. I think he is on a comeback trail. You know, and that's what you do when you're a top contender and you suffer a loss. You go back and you defeat some prospects. You know, he went back and defeated Ishe, controversial or not. Now a hot up and coming prospect. Does Gallimore have some losses? I believe he has one or two, maybe.
Yeah,
but he was on a win streak.
Yes.
You know, he had a resurgence of his own career. Now, I've seen exactly what you've seen, and I feel probably the same exact way. I just didn't want to spill everything in the beginning, play a little bit of tennis. I did feel like Julian, I don't know how he's going to do. Like, this is an IBF shot, right? So that means he's a mandatory to Hurd. That's not a good fight. Not based off this Gallimore fight. If you're Breadman and Al Heyman and you're thinking of the longevity of this kid, you don't put him in there with Jarrett Hurd. He's small. No. You can see him in this Gallimore fight that he was even smaller than Gallimore. And I want to pass it to you and ask you, you know, do you think that what happened in this fight is that Gallimore wasn't prepared for this world-class stage? Because I feel like he got a little flat and gassed out a little bit in maybe the ninth and on.
He did gas. Again, Gallimore only has about 5 years of boxing experience. It's a very short time and short window. And then to be thrust in there with a former, title contender, a guy that for a lot of people is in the top 10 of the division. That's, I think, without a doubt. But again, I think we see a ceiling for J-Rock. We see a guy that is not improving fight to fight. And to your point of he's on the comeback trail, we don't expect him to look like a elite world level guy on the comeback trail. Now I'll say this. It's a little bit different, I understand, but look at like Sean Porter when he come back from a loss. He went in and knocked out a couple guys, finished a couple guys he was supposed to finish, and then looked amazing against Keith Thurman. Arguably won that. Lost again, and then what does he do? Beats up a Broner, beats up an Andre Berto in clear fashion. We don't see that from a J-Rock. We see him still struggle with these guys, with an Ishe Smith, with a Gallimore. To me, that is a clear sign of a ceiling. We have seen the best of J-Rock. This is the best J-Rock we have. He will be a great title contender. He will be a perennial contender in the division for as long as he is in boxing. But he's not going to be a Lara. He's not going to be a Charlo. He's not even going to be a Canelo in that division. He's not going to be any of these guys.
I don't know. I think you're totally being... You're just jumping the gun.
I could be jumping the gun.
He
Absolutely.
has one loss, and he's, won both of his comeback fights.
But in unconvincing fashion. Like, I'll put it this way. Peter Quillen's one.
Convincing? He got the win legitimately in this one.
Yes, he was the right winner, but he did not look impressive in the win. I'll say this. And for the Ishe Smith fight,
what about if Gallimore is just an overachiever? What do you mean he didn't look impressive? I think he looked impressive based on the opponent. It's not like Gallimore was a pushover.
No, but again, if we're comparing it to what that section of boxing fans are calling J-Rock, the people that have always said that he's a champion, that he's one of the best in the division, those people, I don't see that. I don't see that in these fights.
Yeah,
I don't see a potential champion that's going to reign in the division. I don't see a long-reigning champion.
I don't know, man. I'm not going to spend too much time saying what J-Rock won't be able to accomplish in his career. That was a good fight. He suffered adversity again, and I know that's probably what has you down and disappointed, but I think that you should see the glass half full. He was able to come out of there. He boxed well early on. I don't know if it was cut from a headbutt or punches, but obviously the blood affected him.
I want to say it was a headbutt. I could be wrong.
I'll say this. As confident as you sound that J-Rock will not be a champion or the man in the division, however you phrased it.
Because he might get a belt, but he won't be the man in the division.
He might get a belt. Like, you act like belts ain't shit. I could name like 10 people who are retired that never were a fucking champion, bro.
Yes, and you cannot be a champion and still be better than a guy that was a champion in terms of like legacy. Absolutely.
Is
Charles Martin equally as good of a champion as, let's say, a guy that held a belt for 0 title defenses in the heavyweight division? No. I mean, every champion is different. Same with every mandatory. Every mandatory is different. Every champion is different. To rate them all the same just because they have a belt.
Yes, but it doesn't matter. You use that in a dismissive manner by saying, he might get a belt. Like, everybody gets a belt. Because name the people that can't get a fucking belt. You know what I'm saying?
There are people that get
belts. It don't matter. We're getting hung up in the weeds.
Have a split decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Bert Clements scores about 114 to 113 in favor of Erislandy Lara. Judge at ringside.
So that was totally the wrong soundbite. I was supposed to be playing the Williams one. And then the fucking Laura played.
Yeah, I was like, huh.
Side, Patricia Morse-Jarman scores about 114 to 114, even a draw. Overruled by judges Eric Cheek. He scores about 116 to 112. And Max DeLuca scoring about 117 to 110 in favor of the winner by way of majority decision. He is the winner of the IBF Junior Middleweight World Title Eliminator, Julian J. Rock Williams.
So Matt, this is kind of on, not really on par. I guess one judge was with you right? And then 2 judges seen it very wide. I would have to go back and score it because I did not.
There were a lot of close rounds too, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I mean 116, 117, those are fucking huge. Those are wide rounds, bro.
I mean,
That's
116's what 8-4, right? So that's only 1 round of difference from a 7-5, which I think is probably the most reasonable scorecard. But 8-4 isn't completely unreasonable to me. You know, you probably counted J-Rock's defense a little bit more. Probably counted the cleaner shots of J-Rock compared to maybe the inefficient offense of Gallimore. But again, I not to harp on this. I think J-Rock is a guy that's going to be around for a very long time at the top, but he just may not be the guy. Like I think
that's a total contradiction of his earlier statement, guys.
I think you could be at the top. Let's say like a Lamont Peterson,
That was totally an accident.
Yeah, I'm like that's not accurate to this.
No, that was an accident.
Like Lamont Peterson is, I think, a really good example. A guy that could collect a WBA regular belt here and there.
Yeah, but regulars, come on, let's be honest. Like Floyd has embarrassed people when he wants to, right? Mm-hmm. And he wants to be technical. He'll tell you, yo, that was an interim title. That was a regular title. You ain't no real champion. Like he ain't got no problem telling them that, and we shouldn't either, because the interim is a route to full title.
Yeah, and my point is, like, it's okay to be a guy that's like top 7 in the world a majority of your career. Like, you will make a hell of a living doing that in this game.
Well, you didn't sound that way when you said, "Oh, he might just win a belt."
Well, yeah, because you interpret it as this really disrespectful way of talking about. Like when I talk about a guy being a gatekeeper, I know you don't like that term, Ness, but I don't use it as a negative term.
I mean, you heard Paulie on the telecast, right? He was like,
he said journeyman.
Don't call him a journeyman. I don't know, right away, because it's a disrespectful term. But again,
gatekeeper and journeyman are 2 different things, so let's get that clear.
They are different things, but we're getting caught in the weeds. We gave the scores. You obviously are right because the judge kind of seen it in your favor. What it was, 113-114 or 114-114?
I think it was a draw. Wasn't there a draw scorecard of 114-114?
Yeah, it might be 114-114, the first one. So that's right on par, kind of with you.
I think J-Rock won the fight. He should have won.
114-114.
Yep. That's even. Wow. So that's not really with you. That's kind of like, if anything, that is closer to you though, right? Because you said he didn't look good. So that means that judge seen it that way as well.
You can still be, the consensus winner and just not look good in a fight. I mean, those 2 things have nothing to do with each other.
I mean, I just don't think that he didn't look well. See, I like boxers. I think he put his shots together well, but there's plenty of other stuff to talk about and plenty of other people who didn't look well.
I'll put it this way. Hold on. Very quickly. J-Rock against a guy like Saddam Ali. That to me is a close fight. For everyone thinking that Saddam Ali is easy picking, that that he's a Charles Martin of his division, I think Saddam Ali would give J-Rock a really good fight. I mean,
I don't know, because I think that Saddam Ali is a natural 147-pounder. He's smaller. I was just saying how J-Rock is small and Hurd would be the wrong choice.
Absolutely.
See, Saddam Ali would be the perfect choice because he would be the naturally bigger man.
Agreed.
But that being said, we're going to the co-main event.
Fight of the night.
James DeGale taking on Caleb Truax for the IBF Super Middleweight Championship. A lot of super middleweights in attendance. David Benavidez, former super middleweight WBC champion Badu Jack. You also had up and coming prospect number 5 and 3 in multiple sanctioning bodies, Caleb Plant, making hella noise yesterday. So we'll go to the scorecards and then we'll give you guys our breakdown.
Of action, we go to the scorecards. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, John McKay, scores about 117-110. Judges Don Trella and Robert Hoyle both scored about 114-113. All 3 in favor of the winner. And once again, the IBF Super Middleweight Champion of the World, James Chunky.
So, Ness, did you like it?
So did you think Chunky pulled it off? I mean, unanimous. I don't know if I was influenced by the blood, but just to keep it short, I felt like Truax was making a fight. He had DeGale on the back foot against the ropes all night. He had him in an uncomfortable situation. And, he didn't give DeGale, in my opinion, any opportunity to really look dominant or dominate. If he won any rounds anyone is giving him, it was because he's the better fighter. But I don't feel he established any dominance at all.
I don't feel like either guy established any dominance. Like, unfortunately, my opinion about this fight is I almost don't care. Like, it was that ugly of a fight. Like, it was just uneventful. It seemed like James DeGale was just still not comfortable in there. Still seems like he has some PTSD from Badu Jack or something. And then Caleb Truax came in there looking like he was the hometown fighter. And that bothered me. That he came in there looking like he could just coast through a victory and win on points. When in the first fight, he came in there as a dog. He came in there throwing combinations, attacking the body, and being aggressive. That was all gone in this fight. So I'm not going to sit here and complain about James DeGale getting a win that he probably shouldn't have gotten when Caleb Truax really did not try to put on the same performance he did last time. The winning performance he had. He did, 10% of that effort, it felt like. Again, it was a headbutt fest. The memes on Twitter and IG were hilarious. Shout out to all of you super creative people out there creating memes. But I don't care. To me, and like you said, all the super middleweights around the ring watching it looked like every top dog in the division was looking for some easy food. That's the sense I got from it. And we have James DeGale back as a champion, and I think he looked horrendous in this fight. I think he's going to look bad against Benavidez, bad against Caleb Plant. I think, again, it's one of those fights that really did not matter for the division because I think we all sense that title's easy picking, and it was just a bad fight all around. Like, I forget who was in our group chat, Ness, saying like, oh, I didn't see the fight. I'm like, don't watch it. You're good. You don't need to see it. This is a fight that you never need to watch if you missed it. If you DVR'd this, skip this fight, go to the main event. The main event's amazing. Fight of the night, potential fight of the year. Just go to that. You can skip James DeGale, Caleb Truax any time of the week.
Yo, I used to be so high on DeGale.
Oh, me too. Like, I thought he was the best super middleweight in the world.
I thought he got robbed versus Groves when they first fought. The only time that they fought. I thought he got robbed. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, the Texan. DeGale versus Groves should happen for a Crossroad unification match. Stop it, please. Please don't allow either of those men, not even Groves. Groves doesn't even deserve to be in this conversation. He at least
beat
took
Chris
care
Eubank.
of Chris Eubank in, impressive fashion. He should not be mentioned with DeGale and the route that DeGale should choose to go. DeGale is in a bit of a rock and a hard place right now. I don't know if you're Al Heyman. Can you afford to give DeGale some sort of hometown tune-up when he fucked that up?
Yeah, you can't do that.
That's what Truax was.
You can't do that again. He lost it.
Truax took this title from him on Box Nation in the UK. Now, yesterday, again, I hit the emergency brake and got off the James DeGale bandwagon. Train, locomotive, whatever. I got off because, Daniel Jacobs is 160-pounder, and while we think he's talented, and he is, we know he's one of the best at 160. Bro, he knocked out Truax in 10 rounds. And it didn't look anything like this. This is 2 fights now that DeGale looks like this versus Truax, man. It's just like, bro, he asked himself, if I fought at the top of the division, but if I can't beat Truax, I don't need to be here. But let's rethink this. I mean, wasn't his fight with Lucian Bute a draw or somebody? Didn't he have a draw in DC as well?
No, that was Badu Jack, I believe.
Oh, shit.
And that was when Lucian Bute popped, I believe, as well. So that's one of those, like,
Who else DeGale lost to? No one? Just
well, he had the close fight with Porky Medina. Was that a draw?
He lost to Groves too, though. I forgot that. But more Medina? Oh, yeah. Because that's the one that Caleb Plant talks about a lot. Listen, the bottom line is I don't know what they're going to do with him. You know, you were talking about Julian Williams. Now you see this is a guy. Look, he's a 2-time champion, but you are not even recommending people watch his fight. And you're also saying a prospect 16-0 in Caleb Plant will handle an Olympian gold medalist, 2-time champion.
Here's what you do if you're James DeGale. You look for a Triple G fight. That is your money fight. That's the closest thing you're ever going to get to a money fight, a cash out fight, is Triple G. You know, if I'm James DeGale, maybe I'm.
What about? Hold on. Cash out money fight. Cash out. You use the word cash out. Casual fans. Cash out usually means you or the promoter have come to an agreement that this business can no longer continue, so we're going to try and make the most money possible on this last endeavor. That being said, Gilberto Ramirez, make Al Heyman contact Bob, sell your title to the Mexican. He's the bigger draw at 68.
What's more money?
Benavidez, I know they got their own Mexican in Benavidez, Matt, but he's not a draw. He's no one yet. He's just a young champion.
Agreed. That would be
I don't mean he's no one in a derogatory way or anything like that.
Drawing power. He's not a draw in any sense of the word. That is absolutely true. What's more money, Ramirez or Triple G? Or if you're James DeGale.
The problem is, can you get Triple G? Can you get Triple G?
I mean, Triple G fought Al Heyman fighters in the past, hasn't he?
No, not because of the Al.
Oh, okay.
More because Triple G's already on another level. He's got two, 3 pay-per-views under his belt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's kind of the business now, and he's looking for big business. Is James DeGale looking as mediocre as he is big business in the UK? No,
but it's a title. It's an easy belt at 168. That's why if you're Triple G, you might consider, because Gilberto Ramirez, David Benavidez, those are tough fights to get titles at 168.
All right, but remember that Chris Eubank Jr., for our casual fan listeners out there, he and Gennady, right, both had television deals, right? Chris, when obviously he was negotiating with Triple G, he was under giving us the assumption that it could have been on IFTV, whatever that thing is that was out there, or IVTV, whatever. I don't know. I'm probably saying it wrong. And then, you mean ITV? Obviously Eddie has Sky. So it's a little different. Who's DeGale got? Frank Warren out there is who he does UK business with. And again, before you cut me off, Eddie has said on multiple interviews, like, I love DeGale, and he made a great financial decision signing with Al, but no one knows him. He made money, but no one knows him.
I see it in the YouTube chat.
Eddie's always throwing someone under the bus if you ain't signed with him.
That's true. I see in the YouTube chat, and you mentioned at the very top of this discussion was George Groves. That might be the biggest money fight still, is George Groves and UK clash.
Because of the history, I guess.
Because of history, can probably sell out 20 to 30,000 seats. It may be pay-per-view, and it may do decent numbers.
They're both at least on the same age bracket, right? They're both crowning for sure. They're both losing that hair at the top.
And it's a unification, potentially, if George Groves beats Callum Smith in the World Boxing Super Series. It's a unification fight at 168. It could do big money in the UK. And we've seen this now, that the UK can produce big checks over there on their own without US dollars or fighters at all. So
shout out to Leonard Sterling coming through on the live chat. He said Ustatagi will be next, TBV.
Oh my God, no.
He's interim champion. I reckon it will. I guess he meant he will fight Ustatagi or drop the belt.
Ustatagi would murder him.
Yeah, I think but that's actually a good fight. See, I don't mind that. If Al makes him do that, I'm okay. It don't gotta be Benavidez, but if you're DeGale,
you hate Heyman if he makes that fight.
No,
Ustatagi is just as tough as Benavidez and Ramirez without the belt, without the money. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but it's a mandatory. He's the interim. But I think that's wrong anyway, because I thought Ustatagi won a belt and it was like a WBC version when he just beat Darrell, right?
No, it was IBF interim. But the IBF and their interim regulations are confusing to say the least. It's not mandatory. It's not the same thing.
If you guys are on this new channel,
Mm-hmm.
you're obviously super fans of the show, and we love you for that. And I'm going to assume that you haven't hit the thumbs up because you're on some television or something, is what people like to tell me these days.
Or maybe.
OMG. I am so excited.
Maybe they're just too excited. They forgot to press the like button. Like, oh my God, TBV. I just saw the link on the Boxing Voice YouTube channel that they have a live show here on YouTube. Oh my God. And they forgot to hit the like button. It's okay. Just go hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Share the show. Because we back. Facebook stream is down, by the way, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. It just went down.
Boom.
Yeah.
Dropping that ball.
Yeah.
So I guess next topic is Floyd Mayweather. Right? No, actually, let's finish up the DeGale, right?
We didn't even go to the main event yet. So
we didn't even go to the main event. I'm wilding, so let's just go there to the main event.
Yeah.
Split decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Bert Clements scores about 114 to 113 in favor of Erislandy Lara. Judge at ringside, Glenn Feldman sees it 114 to 113 in favor of Jarrett Hurd. And judge at ringside, Dave Moretti sees it 114 to 113 in favor of the winner. He is now the WBA, the IBF, and the IBO 154-pound champion of the world, Swift.
Yo, those cheers reminded me to let you guys know that it was only 2,500 people was all that was in there. Those cheers reminded me to tell you that because for the life of me, I couldn't understand. I said, damn, how many people did Hurd bring with him? And then I got the email, obviously, from, Mayweather Promotions, keeping me up on everything. And it was only 20. I'm going to give you the exact number. It's crazy. But also, we got 7 5-star reviews to read.
Emotional. Why you emotional? Bitch, you emotional, yeah.
I'm emotional.
Happy emotional? I still don't feel like that works for that.
It does work for it. I'm emotional.
I mean, up this way, you can't play the
7
last part.
5-star reviews. I want to cry. I'm emotional.
Ness, you can't play the last part where he's like, bitch, you're emotional. I mean,
why not? Why not?
Because I feel like Kendrick's like, hey, making.
Okay, my co-host is saying, yo, you acting like a bitch. You being emotional. And I'm like, it's okay. Real men cry, okay. See, so it works, Matt. It works. Sure, you are just a hater. That's all. Sure. You hate everything. So I was going to go because we needed to give you guys check these punch stats out too. That's another thing we need to bring up. So much information they sent here.
Oh, very quickly, just to the attendance. It was at the Hard Rock Hotel Casino. That is a very small venue. It was
but it doesn't matter. That's not an excuse because you had a lot of name power, right? And that goes to show our casual fans out there how small boxing is, right? Because we consider Julian Williams a name in the division already. Lara, a name. Jarrett Hurd, a name. DeGale, for sure, a name. Truax, at the very least, even if he's not considered a name, we know him. He's been in there with a bunch of common opponents. I don't know why they thought they could only sell 2,500 tickets. Can they sell more with all those fucking names?
Well, it depends how much the tickets were. I mean, if this was a high roller event, because remember they had to pay out all these guys' purse. Erislandy Lara got $1 million. Hurd got 500,000. Caleb Truax and DeGale.
So what are you trying to tell me here? What are you trying to tell me though? How many people paid how much for 2,570?
I have no idea. I'm not a math major.
No, because you're saying high roller tickets. How much are these tickets, high roller?
I don't know. I didn't look up the ticket prices, but I'm saying they must have had to increase the ticket prices.
Give me a hypothetical ticket price in your mind to make this ridiculous scenario work. You got at least 4 strong names. You tell me you can't find at least a 4,000 seat arena? I mean, look, Bob Arum does lesser names in Madison Square Garden Theater. Okay, Lomachenko, he fought Jason Sosa at the MGM Grand Harbor and did more than this 2,500. Like you could have put, if you could have. Matter of fact, wait a minute. I know it's not tennis. I know. I have to say this. If you're gonna sell 2,500 tickets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because the majority of our listeners pick Hurd. So if you're gonna sell 2,500 tickets, Al Heyman, Richard Schaefer, whoever the fuck is driving the truck over there, put Hurd, who the world was picking, who is your new star, put him in the MGM Grand, in the Harbor, in the DMV, in his area, in his radius, and he'll still do more. He'll do the same numbers that Lomachenko did. They'll put extra seats in it. And if Lara has an issue because it's not neutral ground, pay him a little bit more money. Invest in your product. This made no sense to take this poor kid to the West Coast, put him 4 hours behind on his time zone to fight for 300 less people. Because the MGM, I believe, is 2,800.
I'll put it this way. A couple points. Quickly, is there a 4,000 seat arena in Vegas? Because I know like the MGM is like a 12,000, T-Mobile's 20, Mandalay Bay is like what, 8?
What
10?
they have that new casino. What is that casino? It's in 2000 and maybe the year of Pacquiao fight. The year Pacquiao fought, the Friday night fights were there. Cosmopolitan, maybe?
Maybe the Cosmo, but I think that's around the same size as the Hard Rock. But again, all I'm saying is that the arena sizes for Vegas are limited, first. Secondly, the reason why this was not in a location that's probably more specific to where these fighters are from is because where the promoter's from. The promoter of this fight was Mayweather Promotions. That means it's almost guaranteed to be in Las Vegas. If you want this in the DMV area, you're going to need Lou DiBella to promote it if you're PBC. And then you may be selling 4,000 seats at the MSG Theater, but I guarantee you're making 3 times more in ticket sales in Vegas, right? I mean, that's the whole point of Canelo going.
I guess you are, but look at these ticket prices. Like, this is crazy, okay? Jarrett Hurd's mom, well, I'm pretty sure they got some free tickets, but some of his uncles and shit, they wanted to come see their nephew fight. You know, you can't get tickets for everybody. People think tickets is like, nah, that shit don't exist. So some of his uncles that wanted to sit next to his mom and shit, I had to pay $750 or $1,000. That's insane. I'm starting to think they're not even making money here. This is a tax write-off. He's made so many millions. He needs to throw a couple of shows a year and write it off. This don't make no sense. You got 6 talented fighters with decent level names. I mean, because, is the lowest name a C at the very least? At the very least. And that's a mean fan. You know what I'm saying? C-level fighter is the lowest name. So, damn, I don't know, man. I don't know. But who are we, bro? They're doing the damn thing over there, right? They're putting together great fights. I guess that's all that matters. It looked good on television, and Hurd had a lot to do with that. Some of these punch stats.
I mean, we look at if you think about a bunch of the ESPN cards like Golden Boy puts on, those are tiny venues. I mean, you're talking about a few hundred people. Like the Fantasy Springs Resort, which I've gone and covered fights there. That's tiny. And they put like Jason Quigley, Glenn Tapia on ESPN there when it seat maybe 400, 500 people. Like boxing has lived off of, 4,000 and less attendance in the U.S. for, per event for a very long time. That's why in the U.S. when you get 20,000 people in a venue, that you are a draw in the U.S. if you are able to do that. It may be different in the U.K., maybe different in other places, but in the U.S., it's hard to pull in those people for live attendance. It is, especially in major markets.
For sure, man. For sure, brother. I was just excited, man. I wanted to contact his trainer and set up an interview and stuff. But you got to give them time to do the victory thing and stuff. But I'm curious, man. Because I don't want to take anything away from this performance. But Jermell Charlo obviously had a lot of interesting things to say. He was on hand, and he said, if Hurd hits, if I hit Hurd as many times as he got hit, this fight won't last. Whether that's true, is yet to be seen, because Hurd is absorbing everyone's shots. But how long is that style gonna last him? Like I don't know, man. He took a lot yesterday, and all these fights are looking the same. I just, what's the shelf life? And don't get me wrong, he doesn't sound bad. His face isn't swollen, nothing like that. So maybe they're not hurting him at all, and he's like fucking Wolverine or something. But still, you gotta assume he is taking that punishment.
Yeah, and you have to assume eventually it's going to come back and haunt him, whether it be 40 years from now, 80 years from now, 20 years from now, 5 years from now, a year from now. It will come back. Brain damage does not go away, unfortunately. And this is a sport where you literally cause each other brain damage on a daily basis. So it is concerning long term. I have this concern about Triple G and other guys that rely on a good chin as a crux for their game, for their style. Francisco Vargas, Leo Santa Cruz. You can start listing a lot of guys that are active today that you go, eventually they're not going to look the same. You just know it. If you watch the sport long enough, you've seen this track record. But luckily for Jarrett Hurd, if that's not a concern for him, and it may not be, and it probably isn't, due to his style, he will put on exciting fights for the fans. He will make a good money doing it, and he'll be around for at least a good bit and putting on these fights, in my opinion, until we start seeing, these negative effects come back and haunt him. That's my take on it, so to speak. He still looks phenomenal.
So the thing is, we don't know what to believe, right? I mean, is it going to be tough for him to make the weight if he can't get the Jermell Charlo fight next? Or is it not all of a sudden tough because he made the weight so easily this time at 153 even, and now he's got these 3 new belts, and it's like more motivation? I mean, what does he stay? Because it's more money, let's be honest, right? Like, now he's got a couple of titles. His next fight got to be in the millions now. Do we know what he got paid last night? Did they say?
500,000.
500K, Jesus Christ. I cannot believe that where we are. In 2012, we used to be saying, Jesus Christ, these guys are getting paid so much money. Now I'm saying Jesus Christ because the mandatory minimum, the minimum wage for these fighters has gone down drastically. We're talking about an IBO, WBA, IBF unification, and he only got 500K. And what Laura got, another cool mill?
Yeah, he got a mill. But then you look at guys like Caleb Truax, James DeGale. They both got 300 stacks each.
What?
Yeah. So I mean, that's one of those where you go, not overpaying, but like,
they dropped my man DeGale down to 300K. He better leave out with that belt. Maybe Eddie can make him some better money out there at this point. I mean, well, he got the belt back, so Al gonna have to raise his pay again. Yo, I'm watching the fight right now. He's getting hit with so much shit by Truax, bro. I wonder, that's what he should do at this point. Give him a rematch, right? Just, you could keep fighting this dude for a while. Like, at least one more fight, because, every other route you go is dangerous, right? Like, Benavidez is way more dangerous. Caleb Plant probably is going to outclass him. Probably. I'm not saying that he is. Probably. Maybe, who knows? Maybe DeGale shocks him and shows that Plant wasn't ready. Mm-hmm. But you got to assume that, Gilberto is just too many punches for him. Too many punches, too much activity. Big guy, tall, rangy. I mean, what top guy you got this guy beating? Moving forward, like, next fight. I mean, like we said, because if he doesn't do his Tatsuki, then what?
I mean, could he even beat like a Chris Eubank?
Yo, and he's always had so much negative comments about that fight. Like, he said he would never fight. He would never have that fight. Remember when Eubank had this IBO, he said he would not unify because that's not a belt. Like, but, because of the hateful talk and because of Eubank's, vulnerability, maybe he takes it. But watching Truax do this, imagine the machine gun punches of Chris Eubank. And the confidence that he has. I don't know, but it'll be a good fight. That'll be a good domestic and international fight. I mean, I would pump it as much as I can. I know that not many people know those guys out here in the U.S., but whatever. You want to move on, or you got anything else on the Showtime card? You want to bring up maybe your boy Sergio Mora? I see. Was that a draw, or did he get the win?
Yo, I have no idea. That wasn't televised.
I seen you asking about it. I mean, I received quotes on it, and for the life of me, I can't tell you did he win or not, bro.
Wait, hold on. BoxRec doesn't have like an official.
Yeah, you can check BoxRec. I was just saying from the quotes they sent me yesterday.
Yo, that'd be hilarious. Like even BoxRec has like no idea. They have like this emoji, like the guy that holding his hands up. Like I have no fucking idea what happened. My final thoughts on just Jarrett Hurd, Erislandy Lara. A great fight. Jarrett Hurd is a guy that is going to put on fantastic fights. I think he's probably going to be a guy that is a champion multiple times throughout his career. May not be long reigning due to his style. He will probably lose fights here and there. But the guy is going to put on fight of the year contenders year after year, in my opinion. Jermell Charlo versus Jarrett Hurd is a fantastic fight and one of the best pure fights you can make in boxing right now. So I'm just hyped to see if that happens next. But yeah, that's my final thought on the card.
I told Bruce to put money on Mora. Mora won by unanimous decision. But check these quotes out. If you didn't watch the fight and you only read these quotes, look. Mora versus Angulo, flash quotes. Sergio Mora, and I quote, "I landed the better, cleaner punches and controlled the fight. My punches were more effective. I was the aggressor. I thought it was unanimous, and I won by 1 or 2 rounds. He never hurt me. But I felt my power hurt him 2 different times. It was a close fight, but it was the right decision for me. For sure. I thought I won. Angulo, I thought I clearly won. Mora was going backwards so much, and I would come forward. The problem here was the judges." Oh, shit. I guess I didn't read that. That obviously tells you Angulo lost. Yo, but at least shout out to Angulo, made a comeback. Now let's put that into perspective. James DeGale.
Some guys shouldn't be making comebacks. Some guys should stay in retirement.
No. Hold
on, Ness. Hold on. Let me get a shot in here. Guys like Ricardo Mayorga fought this weekend as well. Let's not forget that. Some guys should just stay retired. It's okay.
I hear you, but listen. If you're a plumber for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. Whatever job you decide to take up, usually people don't make career changes, Matt.
But Ness, I'll put it this way.
Wait a minute.
No, tennis.
If you're not like super successful, how do you change your career at this point in your life, bro?
I'll answer your metaphor with another metaphor, using the plumber metaphor. Because plumbers work with their hands, right? Imagine if a plumber all of a sudden develops severe arthritis, can no longer work with their hands. They have to find something else to do. They can stay in plumbing, but they may not be on the field anymore. They may have to go to the office. They may have to be an inspector. They may have to do other things than be the handyman, so to speak. And if you're a fighter, there comes a time when your body cannot take the punishment anymore. So therefore, you have to find other things to do, whether it be coaching, whether it be promoting, managing, being an agent.
Who are you recommending to retire here? I'm losing my...
Angulo.
Oh, Angulo.
I mean, I was at the Freddie Hernandez fight live for that one. I covered that fight. To see him look that way and that was 2 years ago. God knows what he looked like here. There's a reason it wasn't televised.
I hear you, man. Listen, just to keep it short, though,
Mhm.
Angulo's not Thurman, and I say Thurman because you had that personal experience with me and Thurman, so you know what I'm talking about when we were in the gym, and just how well of a speaker and teacher he is, right? So take that all into perspective and think about what you said earlier. Oh, if you're a plumber and you mess up your hands, you need to get a new job within plumbing.
Or that could be an option if you want to stay within plumbing.
Cool. So Angulo's a fighter. He needs to get a different job within boxing. It's kind of hard for him to be a trainer, right? Because he wasn't as versatile, right? And there's a language barrier. And then we got to remember that he was an immigrant and he suffered going to jail for being an immigrant, being in ICE. I mean, how many other career options do you think he has? I'll allow you a few minutes, but let's not go to hell.
It's just a point, and Angulo is really an example to an argument we're using. My thing would be if you are not the type that can actually do that thing, like coaching. You brought up coaching as an example. Let's say coaching. If you don't have the coach's mentality, then you don't have to be the coach, but your name can be on the gym. You could be owning the facility. You know what I mean? Like you could figure out ways to where you still make money within the sport, and you could do what you love. If the sport is what you love, then that by all God's almighty, do it still. But for the love of God, please do not put yourself in more punishment, Angulo, or anyone like Angulo, because eventually that's when you're going to see something very bad happen in the ring or out of the ring, and no one wants to see that. You know, and unfortunately, we have a sport with no pension, no union.
Now, did you watch the fight though? Because
no,
again,
none of us did.
It would
None of us did. It's not televised. There's no tape of it. It's not on YouTube. It's not anywhere.
So you don't think that's unfair of you to be making all these judgment calls? And the fight was announced a split decision, which meant it was close. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You could be saying this guy is done and he had the performance of his career and was legitimately robbed.
I doubt a guy who looked the way he did against Freddie Hernandez and took 2 years off and then fought another guy who took 2 years off and came off an ACL surgery. I doubt that fight looked good.
I mean, those are some of the reasons why he could have looked good, because the guy came off of ACL surgery.
But Ness.
Wait a minute, I ain't cut you off. And because he took 2 years off to kind of rejuvenate, get himself back together.
Angulo hasn't looked good in over half a decade.
Listen, hey, it's all good. Neither one of us got to see it, but at least I'm not being judgmental without watching it.
I will fully admit I'm being judgmental without watching his fight last night, because I watched the fight before that, the fight before that, the fight before that, the fight before that, and they all looked bad. So the likelihood that he took these 2 years off and magically took off all of his shoddiness, the fact that he can't even throw a punch with any explosion, that all of a sudden it came back. No, the guy's faded. The guy's shot. That happens. You can't get that back. Once that's gone, it's gone. Look at Brandon Rios. Look at Mike Alvarado. These guys are never the same. Once they pass that point.
Brandon Rios just had one of the best performances
What?
of his life.
What? He got knocked the fuck out in the fight.
But before he got knocked out, he was looking good, bro.
No,
People were shocked that he was. Anyway,
he was not looking good.
I'm not going to go down these rabbit holes with you.
He was not looking good.
We got more topics here. We're going to go into the next one, and it's the true Floyd Mayweather topic.
Yes,
not that UFC MMA garbage Matt was talking about at the top of the hour, but instead he had a red sombrero on yesterday. It's not a sombrero, really. It's like a derby.
It's a fedora.
But, what?
Was it a fedora?
That was not a fedora.
I don't remember the hat.
It's not a fedora, because a fedora isn't a circle. Oh. That's more like a derby.
See, I didn't know the the differences in a
yeah,
hat
it's
like
all
that.
good. So regardless, he had a hat on. What color it was or shape doesn't matter, because we were not talking about the literal hat. It's the metaphorical one, his promoter's hat. And yesterday he took to Showtime telecast, Matt, and shocked the world as I play the tape.
If Gervonta Tank Davis win that fight, I already spoke to Todd DeBuff from Top Rank. We look forward to Adrian Broner. We look forward to Gervonta Tank Davis fighting Lomachenko after this fight. We know.
So, promoter Mayweather Promotions, Floyd Mayweather Jr. on Showtime telecast.
Mm-hmm.
Brings up his fighter, Gervonta Davis, and he says he spoke to Todd DeBuff. So now what we need to let our listeners know is that Todd DeBuff confirmed this on social media, that he and Mayweather had a conversation. Now, how do I ask you questions without us being on the same page on this? But how did you receive this?
He's deleted.
Damn, it is crazy. I'm on my deleted.
Yo, you're about to press forward.
I was waiting for my turn.
Yo,
who's getting deleted then?
Yo, Davis was getting deleted hard. Yo, the sad part is when Mayweather said it, he had a smirk on his face. Like you could tell, like he was looking at the camera.
I don't remember a smirk. I actually got the video. I ain't seen no smirk. Let me
again. This is just podcasting. Let me just get my jokes off, Ness. Let me get my jokes off, okay? You could tell when he was looking in the camera, like all you motherfuckers out there that know what I'm saying, you're laughing with me. And then he would, give this laugh. Oh, Tank, you wanted to fuck with me? You wanted to fuck with me? Okay, then you're gonna fight Lomachenko. God, that is such a that's a Machiavellian Godfather-like move from Mayweather. I gotta love it.
What are you talking about? You're rambling. This is what I'm telling you. Matt hasn't figured out how to drive a car yet. This is why we always got to pull over, take the wheel from the little baby.
Do you not know what I'm talking about, Ness?
For the that's my point. For the casual listeners, the people that stumbled across this show, Matt, that have no clue what are you talking about. How is Davis being deleted? Why was Mayweather saying this statement with a smirk? What in the world are you talking about?
That's the point. I bring up these analogies to Godfather and Machiavelli, then you have to bring it back and go, well, this is what he is talking about. Come on, Ness. Don't you know good radio? Come on. It's okay, Ness.
Deflection 101.
Do you want to go, Ness?
So, I mean,
you want to play tennis?
I'm trying to leave this guy all the room to take the show here and do his thing.
What do you mean, do my thing? It's tennis, Ness. It's a podcast.
Well,
do you want me to shit on Gervonta Davis and take all the heat, or what? Like, what do you want?
I'm not trying to tell you to shit on anybody. I am just a conspiracy theorist. Mm-hmm. You are not telling me your theory nor the conspiracy that you think is taking place. So I guess it is up to me.
Do you want me to
give the world my very vivid imagination without you cutting me off?
You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Yo, I'll be honest. I need that Jay-Z song when he be like, you got to light a J to this one. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
What's your name?
That would be a nice soundbite.
I had to light a J to this one, B, because it's just like, I'm sitting here watching this telecast because I don't even know what fight it was. This particular piece of news kind of was like a blackout after this. Can't remember before or after. Just this. And you could take the blue pill with Matt, who I guess is...
What does that even mean, Ness? What does that mean?
I'm on this metaphorical thin ice and is afraid to crack it. Or you could take the red pill and walk with me.
Ness, hold on.
Walk with me.
We're saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing.
Or you could walk with Ness and into this very vivid imagination. Again, here's what I thought took place.
It's the same thing.
So for quite some time now, or at least for the 8-week buildup for the Gervonta Davis and Jesus Cuellar fight, there's been some rumbling. We haven't necessarily reported on anything too big, but we've always mentioned it on either our flagship shows or in conversation on any of our spontaneous shows, how, Tank was either let's just say, forget tweeting or Instagramming, releasing some sort of frustration, disappointment, some sort of message on his social media that gave the boxing world, the hardcore boxing world anyway, the people that follow the social media, gave us the impression things weren't going well between he and Mayweather Promotions. As time got closer to this particular fight, we found out Tank wasn't working with his trainer anymore. He in fact has Kevin Cunningham now, and he's out in West Palm Beach in Florida, and he's holding camp with Adrian Broner. As you guys know, Montana Love, who was on Showbox not too long ago, defeating Tsunami Sam, was in camp. And then there was more drama and media, headlines there because Montana was, released from that camp. And then there was leaked sparring footage of Tank putting hands on him and Montana calling him all types of names under the sun, kind of doing his own Paulie Malignaggi versus McGregor, saying, hey, release the tape. He did his own little comedy skit calling 50 Cent because I guess he's seen what 50 did for Big Baby Miller, which, remember, got deleted. Walk with me. Light your J. So, there's been a lot of stuff. Tank has been doing a lot of stuff, but lately he came out and just said it. I felt forced. They forced me into taking that fight. So obviously you say things like this on social media, your fans, the haters, they're going to talk up. And Tank replied. Some people said, what are you talking about? He got you a title shot. He said, yeah, but I wasn't ready. They said, what you mean you wasn't ready? He was like, bro, I was off 6 months. Or the fight before that, I was off 6 months. Now, what is Tank talking about? Being forced, right? And I swear to God, I always scratch my head about this because I'm thinking to myself, I remember when Floyd got him the title shot, and I can still see Tank's theory. When Floyd got him this title shot on a big stage, it was because Tank was also vocal on social media. Do you remember that, Matt?
Yes.
You don't.
Yes,
Boxing fans are so fickle. You don't remember that.
No, wait. When Davis was going at Mayweather like 2 years ago?
Yes, before the title shot.
Yes, I remember that.
What was he going at Mayweather for?
For not giving him a title shot. Wasn't that the whole point? Was not giving him like the shine, not giving him like exposure. It was all that stuff rolled into one.
And I don't think it was necessarily ever a title shot. He just didn't feel promoted. He wanted more fights. And shout out to Scantus Rance. He says he remembers that. So all right. So Mayweather, and this is the rumor, right? This is Tank's truth, right? So because he says, because I was vocal and I said I wanted it to be promoted properly, and I said vocally and verbally on social media that I didn't want to move to Las Vegas and I didn't want to do things your way. You rushed me into a fight because I was vocal. And anything that we say in this day and age is news. So now people are thinking that Mayweather's treating this kid unfair. Look, he wants a shot. Oh, you think I'm not doing my job, little nigga? Well, here, take this champion right here. This is the way Tank is receiving it. But to the real boxing world, we're looking at it like, damn, Mayweather hooked him up. This kid got 18, 19 fights. And Mayweather got him a shot at Pedraza, who, didn't look too good versus Edna Cherry, and already had been complaining that he couldn't make weight. So we knew that he had to struggle to make that payday with a Gervonta Davis. Mm-hmm. And then Davis went in there and blew him out. So Davis says to the haters, no, I wasn't ready. It's just I got skills and I did what I did. That don't mean that he was pushing me. He tried to set me up. This is Davis. Social media, it's out there. So now, I guess it's more the same, And there's also more, right? Like, I didn't get to see what Davis replied to Mayweather's daughter, Yaya. But she always gets involved in something, and she ranted like, nigga, my dad was there, gave you your first title shot, you know how she do. And he says something out. I don't know where that's at. So whatever. But the point is, there was some rumblings. At the very least, we know Gervonta wasn't happy with Mayweather, and Mayweather obviously could not be happy with Gervonta airing out Floyd Mayweather Promotions' dirty laundry. So again, you're walking with me. This is my theory now. You know? Floyd says, okay, you want to play hardball? You want to take to social media? I am the king of headlines. Sat down on Showtime, Premium Network, and really eclipsed the rest of the weekend by telling the world that A, he was going to fight in the UFC, and B, the fight that hardcore fight fans wanted, they're going to get. And that fight is none other than Vasyl Lomachenko versus Gervonta Davis, if Davis can be victorious versus Quellar. Immediately, Davis takes to social media and only puts laughing out loud emojis. And the people responding right away. But now after that, there's more. Because there is a hurt fighter here. You got to understand, if you're Mayweather, you got to understand people look up to you. And maybe, you know how to do things because look at where you are and you want to deliver that message to your fighters that, hey, follow my lead and maybe you can do as well as I did both in boxing and in the business of boxing. But what he doesn't understand is that people come from different places and different times, and it's just different. And he's got to try to deliver those messages and teach those gems to these guys in multiple different ways. Because when I hear or I receive, the way I received this picture from Gervonta Davis that was posted 4 days ago, again, 4 days ago is before this fight. So that is before the Mayweather, Showtime Jim Gray interview. He says, how can you give up on me? I came from the murder zone. Who's he talking about, Matt? He's got to be talking about the same person that he keeps saying isn't promoting him, right? Then yesterday, after the smiley faces on Twitter, on Instagram, he posted something else. A very, I like the picture. I don't even know what word to use. I really like the picture. I guess the white robe does it because I always liked Anthony Joshua's white robe when he used it for Vladimir Klitschko. So, I mean, he's going to have to come up with something new because he's kind of using it ever since then. But Gervonta has the white with the red. It's got the little Smurf fur on it, So the caption says, I'm ready. Hashtag the one with the emoji of the gorilla. Meaning, maybe he's not going to shy away from the fight and prove, even though you're trying to put me down and set me up, I can still persevere. I will knock this dude out. Could he do it? I don't know. Is it a setup? I don't know. But that is my theory of what took place because I know, and I have to close it with this because people probably like Ness, but why? That's his promoter, da-da-da-da. Well, here's why. We've always heard Floyd say, he's young. That's not the route we're going. We don't need to rush. Lomachenko needs to rush. Why all of a sudden are you going to rush? Why all of a sudden is Lomachenko the next fight? Lomachenko still got to fight with Lainez. And this is how you know that this is all just pressure. This is just pressure that Floyd is flipping back on Gervonta, letting him know, watch your mouth.
Well, absolutely. And again, when Gervonta Davis was in the media, on social media, definitely posting a ton of, not hateful shit to Floyd, but, posting subliminal tweets, posting all that shit to Floyd, it creates a public narrative, a media narrative against Floyd. What's the first thing you do to discredit a fighter? Any fighter. It's not Davis, any fighter. Say they're ducking someone. So how do you set up that narrative? Make a fight that you know they don't want to take. And that you know you don't want to make in Lomachenko. Create that narrative. And like you said, Ness, in our text messages last night off air, it is going to try to make Gervonta Davis look like a duck. That's what it seems like to me. It seems like to a lot of people that this is a move to throw his fighter under the bus because he was talking shit to him, challenging his authority in the media and in public. And he's like, okay, then I'm going to discredit you in a way. Everyone thinks you're ducking Loma. I'm going to make it really seem like you're ducking Loma now. Don't ever fuck with me again. And that's what this is. It's Machiavellian. It's Godfather-like. You have to almost not applaud it, but like respect it, like as a business move. Yes, Ness. What about?
What about the old phrase, the bad apple? Mr. Johnny Bad Appleseed.
So,
can Tank be getting negative influence?
Oh, okay. So for the casual fans, like you say, Ness, they can't piece it together.
No, because I can't go around.
Hold on, Ness, hold on. Just because again, you mentioned
all
that
the narration. You got to give some narration too. You got to be able to decipher some of the metaphors for the listeners too, buddy.
Obviously, Ness is talking about now Davis is in Kevin Cunningham's gym with Adrian Broner constantly. And obviously, Broner and Mayweather have had a falling out of some sort. They are definitely not close like they used to be. That is plainly obvious. Could that be having an effect on it? To me, it's one of those things where is it having an effect or did he go to Broner because of it? You get what I'm saying? Like a chicken or the egg scenario. Did him hanging out with Broner cause a rift with Mayweather? Or did his rift with
Broner
Mayweather
could definitely relate, Matt?
Oh, hell yeah. They're talking to each other right now about this, or at least not right now, but that on Saturday night, they were together in Florida. They're talking about it.
Broner was like, see, that's that bullshit I'm telling you about. He talking that big bruh shit, but he gonna do that.
What big homie throws his little homie under the bus like that?
On TV.
On TV. And then prefaced it with talking about MMA and UFC. So you got everyone's eyes on that interview, and then he says, oh, also Davis versus Loma. Wink,
Dude,
wink, nudge,
and
nudge.
let me tell you, it worked. It worked, okay? There are tons of news articles, clippings, social media things. It worked. It worked. Can he turn it around now? Like, if they mend the relationship, is there a way for Floyd to turn off the attention that he now put on Gervonta about this fight?
Well, that's a twofold question. Can they mend the relationship? Yes, they can. I think it's doubtful. Whenever you start putting this
No, I don't think. I mean, that doesn't even matter, bro. He's in a contract. He ain't going nowhere. So it's more about can he, get on the good side of Floyd, and then Floyd fix this issue. Because let's be honest, does he want that fight next?
Gervonta?
If you're in that camp with Gervonta,
No.
What are you telling Floyd?
No, you're saying, what the fuck were you doing, Floyd? Like, we don't want that fight. Why did you say that? You've said on record we don't want that fight right now. Why throwing us under the bus?
This is me. If I'm with Gervonta, I'm like,
the number you have dialed
can't reach us, Floyd.
has been changed. The new number is.
Oh, that's so good.
Please note, the new number is.
You ain't even got our number right now, buddy. We just getting on. He about to just grab this. Ain't this like a regular WBA? He about to grab vacant regular belt.
I have no idea what he's trying to grab right now with Cuellar. But to your point of what was it? You said, fuck, I forgot. You started this or something. Never mind.
That happens, man. Brain fart. It's all goody. Let's get out to the callers then. We're going to go to the 1-425-569-5241. That is the number you got to call in if you want to voice your opinion here on the Voice of the People hotline. There were a lot of topics. So, make sure that you have your thoughts clear and you're ready. We're giving everybody 3 minutes. Be courteous to the caller beneath you. You don't have to fully use the whole round. If you can knock somebody out within 3, ain't nobody paying you overtime. If you're a first-time caller, say you're a first-time caller when you hear your intro, your area code, and a couple of the other numbers. We won't give too many to reveal the whole number, but, a couple of others that let you know and distinguish you from others. Remember, say your name and where you're calling from. Skype callers at Nestor Gibbs on Skype at NESTORGIBBS. Remember, you can download Skype absolutely free on both Android and iPhone. We're going to go out to our sponsors and get this thing going.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
We're going out
very quickly
to Detroit. What up?
Oh, well, never mind. You must have seen that.
I mean, when a producer does his job, so does the host.
Straight to the point for those with attention deficit. I'm so repetitive, so I gotta repeat. Stainless from the streets to the deep. I'm coming with that heat. All you need to know about me, I'm coming with that heat.
Yo, TVV live. Yes, what up?
What up, Stainless?
Ain't nothing. You know, hitting that blunt on that Mayweather Tank Davis shit you was talking. Matt, what's up?
What up, Stainless?
Ain't nothing, you know, pulling the cone for you right now. You know what I'm saying? It was a nice night of boxing. It was a little boring to start, I'll be honest. It seemed like it was I think Paulie Malignaggi made the point, like all night it had been a battle of attrition. Like it was almost just who wanted it more. J-Rock had a good fight. I mean, I did still see that, you know, he gets hit and kind of stop and reset. But, you know, I think a couple more fights and he may be a good contender again and actually be a champion. I do have to agree with Matt more, though. You know, I don't really see him being like the man in the 154-pound division. And speaking of the 154-pound division, that was a great fight between Lara and Hurd. I knew Hurd would pull it off. I might be the only one who says it, but I thought Hurd won by a couple of rounds without the knockout. When they showed Charlo over in the crowd, he looked a little concerned. And that's just my own speculation, but I mean, if you get a chance, go back. I think it was about the 10th or 11th round. Everybody else looked excited. And Charlo looked really concerned. I don't know what the thoughts were going through his head, but that's the fight I'm waiting to see now. I know he's got a fight coming up in June, and you know we got to be patient and wait for that. But that's the fight we all want to see, right? I think that's the fight we were waiting for even more than the Lara and Hurd thing. As far as the Chunky and Truax fight. That's probably why I skipped over that one because it really ain't worth talking about. It reminded me of the Porter, the Porter Berto fight. Just a lot of headbutts. On to the Floyd Tank Davis situation. That's I don't even know what to say on that, man. That's just Floyd, man. That's all I can really tell you about that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like both of y'all are right. Maybe Mayweather just spent that money as a tax write-off so that he could fuck with Tank. As I always say, please make sure you push the thumbs up and share this on every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. Let me push one so I can get back on. I feel like it. Peace.
Stainless, thanks for calling in. And obviously, shout out to you. Boomerang Status has him cutting the line. Let's go out to our ringer, KM Star.
Hold on. Before we go to KM Star, if you don't know what a ringer or boomerang is, go to patreon.com/theboxingvoice. Find out what that is and help support your favorite boxing channel and get hours and hours and hours of extra boxing content, which includes interviews, extra podcasts, etc. KM Star, what up?
Don't forget to join us tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern on Patreon live.
Ooh.
Untitled podcast should be scheduled. Going out to KM Star. Talk to us, brother.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, I don't know where your new YouTube channel is. I used to always get notifications when you went live, and I haven't called in lately because I haven't gotten the notification. My own fault. I know you guys have the scheduled, calls that I could have made, just assuming it was at 7, but I've tried before and not been able to get through. Maybe because you didn't launch Blog Talk yet or something like that. Anyway, that was just a quick comment. I just want to give you that feedback.
Very quickly, Cam Star. Very quickly, Cam Star.
He has really good skills. He's a good.
I mean, mute you just for a second, Cam Star, just to clarify that point about where to find the new backup channel for the Boxing Voice. It's on the featured channel section of the Boxing Voice on YouTube. So head over to the Boxing Voice on YouTube. To the right of that is where the featured channels are. You can find my channel, Doomsday's channel, Enrique's channel, and Nestor Gibbs' personal channel, which will be the official backup channel for live streaming for the show. So if you want to find it, it's very simple. Go to the channel section of the Boxing Voice on YouTube. Now, Cam Star. Sorry about that. Just wanted to clarify that point.
No. I think I'm probably not the only one who wanted to know that information. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Just continue where I left off. Like, J-Rock definitely is too small for the division. I don't know if he can make 147. He's a skillful boxer, but he's always going to be trapped at that like gatekeeper status, I think, with these big guys that I still struggle to believe make 154 in the first place. I'm glad he shut that guy up. I only wish he was able to stop him, to be honest with you, because he was annoying the hell out of me because of the trash he was talking. And it was fun to hear, but the way I interpreted it is he really was coattailing on Charlo's accomplishment. You know, talking about shut your mouth and you've been chin-checked and all this trash talking, which was basically equivalent to saying that guy beat you. And he didn't back up his own mouth though. So I'm glad he lost. I was really annoyed at that guy. DeGale Truax, I fell asleep during that fight. The only thing last thing I remember was DeGale headbutting this dude in his face 2 times. And next thing you know, I woke up, thank God, just in time for the Lara Hurd fight. Now, that was an awesome fight. And one thing I will say, I don't know how everyone else felt about the scoring, but this is one of the few times where I've actually felt that this was great judging. Like, I actually felt this is the best scorecards I've seen turned in probably for the whole year so far. Because you know why? I couldn't disagree with anything I saw there. I agreed with the Hurd winning, and I agreed it came down to the knockdown. I agreed with the potential for a draw, and I might not have been mad if it went Lara's way on a split decision maybe or something like that. But other than that, like, this is one of the few times I said, yeah, I get that. That was the fight that I saw. Something I want to mention, what was going on with Lara's corner? His eye, they weren't working his eye. And when you look at Jarrett Hurd's corner, I mean, what was that thing they were putting on his face? It was like a canteen. I don't know if you guys ever been in the military. It was like a full-size canteen inflow on the guy's face, which tells you they know he takes a lot of punches in his face, because they pretty much, the only thing they could have done different was come in with a frozen steak and put it on his face. Like, it was almost hilarious how huge the inflow they were using was. And I'm going to close out really quickly. Gervonta Davis, I'm just eager to see the day he gets knocked the fuck out. That guy is a moron. Nobody should be that dumb and be an athlete, or specifically a boxer, where you need intelligence. So I'm happy Floyd is talking, Lomachenko. I hope Gervonta tries to get that Lomachenko fight. But I'm going to be at the Barclays Center for his next fight, and I'm eager to see what he does there. He's not disciplined. He's stupid as hell, and he's not really a good representative of the sport in my mind. I know there'll be other callers who disagree with me. That's just the way I feel. I'm only speaking for myself. That's my call.
Great call, Cam Star, as always.
Went in on poor Gervonta.
I know. Poor
Yo,
guy.
I mean, we'll see what he does. But
I'll say this. Gervonta Davis has basically been put in every situation to be successful. He was put in the Mayweather-McGregor undercard.
Well, from the outside looking in.
Yes, sorry.
He's got a different side.
Of course. No. From the outside looking in, he's been put in the right spots to become a star. Mayweather definitely hooked him up with Drake to get that sort of, moment for Gervonta Davis. We have to think that Mayweather was crucial for that. Let alone all the other card placements, all the other interview spots he's put him in. I think to say that Mayweather has been unhelpful to Gervonta Davis' career is inaccurate. To say he has not been looking out for his best interests is a very personal stance to take that Gervonta Davis is taking. But from the outside looking in, he's done the right things from a promoter standpoint. He's put him in a championship fight that he could win. He's put him on undercards of big mega cards to shine. It's not his fault Gervonta Davis didn't make weight and then lost his belt. These are things that are outside of Mayweather's control. So to me, it's a very arguable thing to whose side you want to take in this, using air quotes.
Very true. Very true. Let's see. Do we got any other boomerangs or ringers?
I do not think so.
And let me see on Skidipe.
I need to put some more numbers in, so maybe take another caller, maybe.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, Majid, talk to us.
Yeah, man. I think yesterday the fight card was alright. You know, Lara and Hurd, I felt like that shit played out the right way. Lara tried, you know, he changed up his style and ain't move as much, but shit ain't work out. Bad year for the Cubans. Fuck it. It is what it is. You know, I think that, you know, Hurd going to be more of a challenge for Charlo. They've been talking a lot of shit lately, and I'd love to see them prove who number one at 154. You know, as far as DeGale, I mean, I kind of feel bad for that dude because I feel like he going to get seriously hurt at this point in his career, and he need to just, like, do something good financially for his pocket and move on, because other than that, I just see in his future him getting hurt by somebody, you know. But J-Rock, I think J-Rock did what he had to do against that dude. The dude faded around round 6, you know, and that just was J-Rock game. He just did what he was supposed to do. But, I mean, as far as 154, it's just for the Ali or nothing, you know, because I feel like Charlo and Hurd got a pass that they got a handle or whatever, and the rest of these people just interfering. But overall, I feel like yesterday, everything that happened with the boxing game, it was what it was, and it was a good thing. And I don't got nothing bad to say. That's all.
Thank you, Majid. We have another boomeranger, Ness.
Majid, you know we love you, man. Try and not use speaker or whatever you have. Who's the other boomerang, man?
Jay, hardcore boxing news from DC.
Wait, doesn't he have an intro now?
Oh, he does.
See, you jumping the gun like you all fast.
Because I'm a great producer. Duh.
That doesn't make you great.
Dollar D Beyonce Production.
J Hardcore Boxing. You know shit about boxing. BoxingVoice.com. Okay.
What up, Jay?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Doing good, man. How are you?
What up, Jay?
Hello? Ain't too much, man. Shit, I enjoyed myself yesterday. I can definitely say that. I had 2 out of 3 last night. I really thought the veteran was going to pull it out, but he changed the game. He stayed in the pocket and fought, and he made it a hell of a fight. I did enjoy that much, but I mean, one thing you got to say, man, is so true. It's a young man's sport, sure, because that young boy, man, was like a Terminator, man. He just kept on coming, man. It was a good fight. Really enjoyed it. Enjoyed the whole card. Even the kid Gallimore, man. I mean, I knew he wasn't going to beat J-Rock, but shit, he can be a good journeyman, I believe. I mean, he still stood with him and went 12 rounds, so I felt that was pretty good. I think Floyd hanging Gervonta out to dry right now. I mean, but I would like for him to do the Pedraza thing again, and I mean, but that's wishing on a star right there. But I don't know, maybe he can Solito him or something like that. You know, see can he still if he can take it rough. Other than that, I got him beating Tank, man. And, that's about it. I couldn't wait to the fights to come on last night, but I was happy when they finally came on, man. And I enjoyed all the stuff that came on Patreon this weekend. That kept me busy, you know, reading all the new stuff that was going down. I mean, somebody was spazzing out yesterday, man. I really enjoyed that a whole lot. So keep up the good work. If you ain't down with Patreon, with the Boxing Voice, you need to go ahead and get with that so you can bust in line whenever you like. Y'all fellas keep on doing that good work y'all doing, man.
Jay, man,
Peace
thank
out.
you, brother, for the support.
Very
and
quickly.
we appreciate you having a good time on Patreon. That is something that we are definitely, gearing towards. As you can see, any existing patrons have felt the uptick in content and just overall time. Like I said, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, we will be live on Patreon with a episode of Untitled and a few other announcements we have to make. Matt?
Jay, if any other new boomerang are out there, remember, if you want to get back in, press 1 again so you're out of the queue, and then press 1 again, and then you're back in the queue. Also, on that boomerang status, Amin, shout out to Amin, King of Essex on Instagram, he hit me up on the bat line, and he said, Ness, there's no more boomerangers or ringers available on Patreon.
Is that true?
I believe we are all filled up on those 2 tiers.
I'll double check that. Before you go to him, I got some other stuff, though, because I know your fingers, you always itchy on the trigger finger. You might be ready to go to him. You got to remember, he's got an intro that needs to be played and all that good shit. Plus, we're always talking about intros. Dollar DiBiase finally stepped it up so you guys can find him easily.
What it do, TBV family? This your boy Dollar. If you want to beat like you heard on the show, hit me up on Instagram at Dollar DiBiase. That's DOLLA_DIBIASE. Let's get it.
Now you know where you can get your intros, Dunsky. So let's see. Well, actually, before we see all that, we got to go out to Amin, is what you're saying?
No, we don't have to. He's not next, so.
Ooh.
Sorry, Amin. But hopefully, when we open up that tier,
we're going to go out to Keem. Shout out to Keem in Florida, who is also a Border Wars participant. Season 3, it's going down. Border Wars will be taking place from July 4th through the 8th. The boys at TBV will be in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, where it's hot. 4th of July, fireworks will be going down. Major title unification between Eric Cruz and Jose Sands. Head on over to TheBoxingVoice.com/videos. Look up Border Wars. You can come to Patreon and get exclusive, never before seen stuff. We got epilogues on YouTube, absolutely free. Check it out. Keem, talk to me. I hope you enjoyed this weekend's boxing, brother.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Yeah, I did. I had a real good time last night watching these fights, man. Gallimore, man, I was rooting for him. I was a fan of Gallimore. I like the shit talking, man. I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like how he was bringing that element to boxing again. He's a heavy hitter. He's still a hard hitter. I mean, he busted up J-Rock's face last night, even though he did lose the fight. But I mean, he's just such a hard hitter, heavy-handed dude. So I just kind of was disappointed to see him lose. But it was a good fight. I didn't really pay attention to the DeGale and Truax fight too much. But what I did watch, I feel like Truax won. And I was kind of, I had some people over who was watching the fight, so it was kind of, going back and forth outside doing this, make a drink. So wasn't paying too much attention to it. But when I did watch it, like I said, I just felt like Truax won that fight, but I didn't watch it enough to really give a great analysis on that one. Then the main event, man, was a great fight. Lara had extreme accuracy, man. Like his punches were so crisp and so clean. He just Hurd pulled like the triple G on him. He just ate everything he was taking. He was throwing at him, and he just walked him down, and it was just too big and too strong for him. And it was a good fight. But speaking of Border Wars, that these Cubans they taking a lot of L's lately, man. I'm just saying. So keep an eye on that because they don't seem to be doing too well lately. And I got a Cuban I'm going against. So
Yeah, man. It ain't been a good last 12 months, right? Because you can't say it ain't been a good year, even though this year's been bad, right? This year, Rancie's lost, Ortiz lost, and then Lara lost. So this year's definitely fucked
Rancie's
up. But
lost too.
Yo, I forgot about Rancie's, man. Damn. Shout out to Cuba, man.
They've been whacked down this year, but it all started last year. I mean, the king of them went down. Once Rigo went down, it was over. It was over.
The king went down. They all went down.
Embarrassment. At least Ortiz and Lara went out. Ortiz and Lara went out with honorably at least, but Rigo was an embarrassment.
Yeah, man.
Straight embarrassment.
Rancie's was an embarrassment too, though.
But that was all I had, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Keem, appreciate you, man. I can't wait to can't wait to meet you, brother. Can't wait to see what you got, man. Hopefully you take care of Alejandro, my light work. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, because Ness, you don't want that Cuban work. I smell pussy. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yo, I'm like Floyd Mayweather. Alejandro's Russian. He's Russian because he ain't got time. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows him. Everybody knows me. So I'm always, they always gonna come at me. Like people always gonna come at me. But
yo, you need to change your name from Young Ali to the TBV's Anthony Joshua.
I mean,
with all these roadblocks.
You could call me what you like. Don't make me go get that belt and remind you that maybe I want to wait around for the Marvin Chris winner. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I want a unification in my life. Maybe Eric Cruz and Jose inspired me, and I don't want no in-betweens. You know what I'm saying? The way that Danny Garcia do, I don't want no Samuel Vargas. That's who the fuck Alejandro is in my eyes. Samuel fucking Vargas, and I don't want him. I want the unification. I want the big deal. You know what I'm saying? Go check out the epilogue on the YouTube channel so you can check out me and Matt as we sit down and give our thoughts on epilogue part 1. We should release part 2 pretty soon. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe when this backup channel gets to 1,000 subs or something like that. We could get to that quickly. That shouldn't be a hiccup. Let's go out to Rod in North Carolina.
Hey, what's going on, man? This is a great card. I think Jackson is sort of rebuilding, trying to build himself back up. I think he's just trying to box a little more and gain confidence. I think he'll be all right at 154, but it's going to take a while to get him rebuilt and get himself back up because I think it's a lot of his confidence because I think, Charlo blew him out the water. So he got to get himself back together. The second fight, man, James DeGale, he seemed like since that Baldu Jack fight, man, he just ain't been the same. He took a beating. And I just don't think he's going to ever be the same fighter again. That last fight with Hurd and Lara was a great fight. I really think 3 things that stood out to me was, Hurd had a nice uppercut. He cut the ring off really well. And I don't even know if anybody paid attention, but the left hook to the body. He was killing Lara with a left hook to the body every time. And I think Lara, like 6 rounds, he couldn't move like he wanted to move. Because he was laying that left hook to the body all night, and he was putting it perfect. And I don't know if a lot of people noticed that. And with all that being said, though, I don't think nobody can mess with the twins at 160 or 154. The Charlo brothers, I don't think nobody beating them. You know what I'm saying? I think if Charlo do hit Hurd as much as Lara did, it's not going to be good for him. It's not going to be good for him. And I'm not with that, but I was shocked what y'all said about the paydays for the main event. I was kind of shocked at that. I thought that should be a little bit higher than that.
That's what I said.
I'm going to go with that.
I mean, Luis Ortiz got paid $500,000 to fight Deontay Wilder. Not a unification, I know, but that's a heavyweight fight. I don't know. To me, it's not that shocking. I don't know why.
But doggy, I mean, I think it is shocking. Luis Ortiz is a heavyweight going up against a dude that puts you in the hospital. It's guaranteed. Like, this ain't Nestor fanboy that y'all like to call me. No, it's facts. Everyone goes to the hospital. You better pay me $500,000 or more. But you talking about a dude that had a title and is in unification. Think about that for a second.
No. See, now you are.
Have a title. Luis Ortiz didn't have a title, and that wasn't a unification. He got the same amount.
See, to me, you're arguing 2 different things. To me, you're arguing they should be paid more for what they're doing. Absolutely agree with that. But the market right now is not that. And the market right now, they got paid, in my opinion, in the U.S. market. Lara got paid $1 million. Hurd got paid $500,000. Neither guy is really a star. Neither guy has a track record of being a main event guy on his own. That, to me, is great paydays for those guys. And again, I know your argument is more that they should be getting paid more. Same with Luis Ortiz, that he should have got paid more than $500,000 for that fight. Absolutely agree with that. But the market's not dictating that right now, especially in the U.S. You want to go to a caller, Ness? Who's next? Ooh. First one here, last one out. Call Nestor Gibbs, drop the ball face.
Yeah, well, just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean. My man, get a cup and put some change inside your hand. Now hold up, let's make this official. Everybody that's agreeing.
Oh, you didn't go to him, Ness?
Yeah.
I mean, what's up?
That's over there tripping. I don't know what that's over there doing. But Matt, listen, you did me a favor. You cleaned up like a good 45 seconds of my call. Ness knew I was coming for him. That's what he did, man. Because I need a fucking boomerang, dude. Give me a fucking boomerang.
So I did check that.
I'm like
they
3
are,
months in.
Yeah. Boomerangs are sold out. We do have ringers, but I mean, man, you the first and the last, man. We can make an exception. I'll open it up and I'll have Matt text
you. I need that. Appreciate that, man. Listen, I was sitting around, man. I was like, what the fuck? How the fuck I don't have a boomerang at this point, right? Feel me? So, listen, let me talk this boxing shit. Jarrett Hurd, I made the comparison. I don't know if y'all feel me on that, though, man. He's a lot like Jermaine Taylor, except he's a hell of a lot more athletic. I like the fact that he can vary, you know, the sauce on his punches, you know what I mean? But it's a little bit too much arm punching. He don't stay on the phone enough. He don't keep his hands up. One thing he did, and I like the way one thing about him, he seems like a very athletic guy, and he's still got to learn a few things about boxing. But again, the fact that he can vary the speed and the sauce on his punches, and he was doing this little shit when he was keeping his left guard up, and he was keeping that right hand, and he was popping his hip, so it was almost like a uppercut hook, halfway straight, funny ass punch, and he was just turning his hip and hitting Lara with that shit when they was fighting in close, because Lara was trying to stay in the pocket and try to not allow her to put enough velocity on them punches to really do work. But man, it was a good fight. You know what I mean? I stood up watching the fucking 9th through the 12th round. I stood up in front of the television watching that shit, man. Very good fight. I think the Charlos, either one of them, the Charlos, again, my man in the call said it, either one of the Charlos washes fucking Hurd, and Hurd is good. Respect him, you know? But either one of the Charlos washes him. J-Rock.
Hey, I mean, let me interrupt for a quick second just because you said something about comparison in terms of Jarrett Hurd. I don't know if you know who Boogs is, right? Patrick Harris. He does all the pad work. You see him doing all the fancy pad work with guys like Adrian Broner and Gervonta Davis and Rashid Warren, Robert Easter, like Lamont Peterson. He's from the Headbangers Gym anyway. I say all that to say that he posted on his Instagram today, congratulating Jarrett Hurd and saying that he reminds him so much of Marvin Hagler. And I know you're in the bracket, so I wanted to ask you your thoughts if there's any comparison or anything that you think may resemble or remind you of Marvin Hagler in a Hurd.
Definitely. I'm going to close out and I say definitely because that the walk down and the switching speed is definitely that Marvin Hagler characteristic. Again, carrying that power late into the fight. You looking at this man in front of you and you like, yo, I still got to stand here and bang with him. Yes, so I do see that. He's definitely a mauler, brawler with boxing technique. I mean, give him time before we say Marvin Hagler, but certainly in terms of the style of fighting, yes. And that was one of Marvin Hagler's flaws. He didn't keep his hands up enough. So definitely he's got a Marvin Hagler style. I definitely agree with that. It was a great fight though, man. And listen, it's a great show as always. I ain't gonna hold up the line. I'm gonna wait on my motherfucking boomerang. First one here, last to leave. I'm out.
I mean, man, thanks for calling in, brother. We're gonna head on out to Cincinnati, Queen City Cobra. Anthony, what's going on, brother?
Yo, what up? Shit, I had to first things first, I had to agree with everything KM Star said about Tank, man. I don't know what's wrong with Tank, man. He tripping. Serving him up for talking that shit. I don't blame Floyd for it, but we'll go to I'm gonna start at the top of the card. Ness, you should have took that fight with Alejandro, man. Cuba ain't looking good in these last 12 months, man. I think you would have watched it. But yeah, man, Man, Lara just didn't look like himself, man. I rooted for him. Maybe not necessarily he didn't look like himself, but it looked like he had the wrong game plan. I don't know what his corner was doing. The pocket thing was working for a while, but you don't want to do that with somebody. You 5'9" versus somebody 6'1". You don't want to do that. So I don't know what the game plan was there, but he blew it. They blew it. So he could have sniped his ass all night and left it at that. But I don't know where Laura goes from here, but shit, probably the same place as everybody else in Cuba goes. Is yet to be seen. But Truax and DeGale, we was talking about this in the chat before. DeGale is broken. He is broken. I don't know what's wrong with him, but shit. After that,
Yo,
that
your
Badger
TV
Jack
loud
fight.
over there. What you
Oh,
watching?
that's me. Shit, The Walking Dead. Oh,
oh boy,
that ain't me. Nah, that ain't me. That's somebody else.
That got to be you.
Nah, that ain't me.
Whatever it is,
Whatever it
mute
is, this shit ain't me.
All right. Oh, it ain't him, Matt.
Okay, then mute Skype.
Oh, you got Amin unmuted, man. That's Amin. Amin always got TV going on too, but that's both our fault. Jeez Louise.
That's
Sorry.
mainly your fault. Mainly yours.
No, you're the producer. You're supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to be double checking that. Bottom line.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, J-Rock though. I mean, I kind of agree with both of y'all. Maybe more so Matt. That maybe I don't want to give up on J-Rock because he's not been doing it for so long.
But Anthony, what's the problem with being a Lamont Peterson in the division?
You're right. I mean, that's a good point. But at one point people were hyping him. I mean, wasn't a lot of people a while ago picking him to beat Charlo?
Yes.
First?
Yes.
So, and just looking at the way he fought, even though Charlo, finished him, just the way he fought at first, in between those knockdowns and shit, he looked better than he certainly does now. So I don't know if he's broken. I don't know, but we'll see.
Thank you,
That's
Anthony.
how
Thank you for your call. Nestor, are you there? No, you're not. Shout out to Nestor, always dropping the ball. Salute.
Yo, Matt is like the little baby that you can't put down. It's like, soon as you put him down, you think everything is cool. It's like, yeah, I'm about to get some pussy. You got to go rock his little baby ass to sleep again. You creeping out the room. Nestor throwing the ball again.
Yo, don't be mad. Don't be mad that I'm making jokes at you. It's okay.
No, it's just hilarious.
Hold on, Ness. Never forget this soundbite. Ness.
Just go to the caller, my man. Like,
Absolutely.
why you can't just go to the caller?
Yo, why can't you just take the jokes?
You serious? We're going to keep the ball moving. William in Seattle. Matt couldn't do this. Talk to us.
Stay in your lane.
William in Seattle.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, you hear me?
We hear you.
Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Hey, I just wanted to say, man, that, yeah, I'm back on that Bacardi again. Yeah, nigga. But,
don't worry, Matt smoking.
Hey, I want to say that Jarrett Hurd beat Lara the correct way. A lot of people saying that, Lara should have kept on moving around. But I think that Jarrett Hurd, his size and how big he is, like, Lara didn't have any lateral. He didn't have enough room to move away from Jarrett Hurd. That's why he had to fight that type of dog fight against Jarrett Hurd. That's the only chance he had, because that lateral movement, it wasn't going to work against Jarrett Hurd, because Jarrett Hurd is too big and he has good foot movement. He knows how to cut off the ring. So the only way Lara was going to be able to beat Jarrett Hurd is do a dog fight, and Jarrett Hurd beat him up real bad. that is the first time I ever seen Lara get beat up very thoroughly and very convincingly. Yes! You know what I'm saying? So Lara, he clearly lost that fight. And Caleb Truax and James DeGale, I think James DeGale did a good job against Caleb Truax. Caleb Truax, he brought pressure, but he ain't throwing enough punches. And that's just him being a freaking dumbass and him being too damn overweight after they made the weight on the weigh-in. So that's his fault. And then Gallimore and freaking J-Rock Williams, I think J-Rock Williams did a good job. You know what I'm saying? I was rooting for Gallimore because I'm Jamaican myself, but freaking J-Rock, he did his thing. Gallimore gassed out. He went hard for about 3 rounds, and then that was it. So you got to chalk that one up for Philly. Philly won that one. And Gervonta Tank Davis, I think Tank Davis needs to realize that Floyd Mayweather is in his best interest because you getting a championship fight and you getting paid all these extra millions of dollars. I mean, he's in your best interest. Fuck all that, I'm not ready bullshit. Yes! Motherfucker, take the fight and get that damn money. So, you know what I'm saying? And Gervonta Tank Davis, he needs to stop hanging around Adrian Broner because Adrian Broner is a bad influence and Adrian Broner is a bitch ass nigga. And I know that personally. And I'm gonna end the call on that. I think Jarrett Hurd is going. I think Jarrett Hurd versus Jermell Charlo is going to be a good fight. That's a 50-50 fight, and may the best man win.
Well, all right, William. Thank you for calling in, and that was a great call, my friend.
And
Let's go out.
Also, always being dedicated to drink at least half a bottle of Henny or Bacardi before you call in every time. I love it. And I can still understand you better than fucking Georgie. So salute, my man. Salute.
All right. Let's go out to D in Atlanta.
Hey, what's up, Ness?
What's up, brother?
Hello? Hey, how you doing, sir? I'm not gonna belabor the point, but I think that Floyd, and you made a good point earlier, I think Floyd is saying, look, you keep messing with me, I'm gonna throw you in there with the wolves, you know? And like the caller alluded to earlier, I think, you know, Gervonta hanging out with Adrian, and I'm sure Adrian is in his ear all on a consistent basis. So that's not good for him. Floyd said, look, I'm trying to bring you from Baltimore to Vegas to train to be the next Floyd. It won't be another Floyd, but I'm just saying like that, you know? And he know good and well that Gervonta can't mess with Lomachenko. Lomachenko angle him all day long, you know? But he's probably saying, look, if you keep messing around, this is going to happen. Now, I want to interview you, Ness, since you always interviewing other people. I want to interview you. I know it's kind of early, but how do you see the Hurd Charlo fight playing out?
Man, I don't know, bro. I really don't know because I mean, we keep thinking that the next guy is the guy, right? Like, I mean, I got lucky. I don't get no crow.
Right.
You know, I pick Hurd.
Right.
But, you know, when he fought Harrison, I pick Harrison, you know, and Harrison was winning.
Right.
And then he hit him, right? And he knocked him out. And I said to myself, oh, well, Harrison didn't have a chin anyway, you know? And then he fought Trout, who was more skilled and a southpaw, which was supposed to make it more difficult. And then it was like he ran through Trout and was like, oh, well, Trout is a small junior middleweight, you know? Trout, that happened to Trout with Jamal.
Right.
But then he fought Lara, who was the most dominant. And this is the best thing that he did. I asked him, I said, but why fight Lara when, you know, nobody, and it's like, Jermell is the hot guy. Now he's like, yeah, but Lara is the one everybody knows is the best in the division, the tough guy in the division. I'm like, fuck, he's right. And he took him out. He took him out. So, you know, how would it go with Jermell? I don't know, because we've seen these other guys hit Hurd and it not mean anything, bro. Like, he stepped it up in competition and in power. You know, we know that Lara's accuracy means power because of what he did to Angulo coming from behind after being dropped 2 times. he broke Angulo's orbital bone, you know? He's always been able to keep guys off him. Paul Williams, you know, Canelo, he kept guys off of him. So, again, he had respectable power. Hurd walked him down. So who's to say Hurd won't just walk Jermell down?
Yep, you're right. Thanks, man.
All right. And you know what, Matt? I don't even think that Hurd is going to use, like, what other style is he going to use? He hasn't showed us anything. Like, that's the game plan. Walk Jermell down.
No, that's his style. That's the way he likes to fight. And very quickly, we do have another ringer, Dempsey. I don't know where Dempsey's from. Dempsey, where are you from?
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's up?
What up?
What up? What up? First off, I just got to say, let me get that crow for that Caleb Truax fight because I picked him to win and he didn't win. So let me get that crow with some barbecue sauce.
Nobody else asked for crow. Who else deserves some crow here? I got all my picks right. Because, you know.
That was good. Hey, man, you know what, man? I ain't going to lie. The DeGale pick, I mean, it was one of those situations where I thought, I'm like, he might win. But then again, he hasn't been looking that great. You know, even though he won the fight, I mean, it wasn't that spectacular of a win for him. I mean, I think it's safe to say that he's not the top dog at 168. But nonetheless, he got the win. You know, win's a win. That's how it is, you know. But Hurd, man, fuck, dude, shit. Him and Jermell Charlo, that's going to be a fight. That's going to be a fight. It really is. And, you know, in regards to who's going to win that fight, it's really hard to say because I don't think Charlo's ever dealt with someone that brings the kind of pressure that Hurd brings. But then again, Hurd's dealt with a guy like Lara, but Charlo's got that height. He's got that reach, so that gives him a little bit of an even playing field for him to be able to win it as well too. Nonetheless, man, I hope we see that fight soon. But I got my servant a crow, and yeah, man, let's move on with the show. Take it easy, guys.
Dempsey, thanks for calling in, brother. Matt, did you get them all right too?
I was gonna ask you, did I pick J-Rock or Gallimore officially on the show?
I don't think anybody on the panel picked Gallimore. And I don't think anyone picked Truax either.
Yeah, because I was making jokes about Gallimore knocking him out like in the 6th round, like in the group chat. But on the show, I think I picked J-Rock. But again, if somebody wants to call in and say that I'm wrong, you can go for it. You know, I probably agree with you.
Yo, I got the Lara fight on, bro. Hurd was hitting him with some shit, man.
They both were hitting.
They both were, though, because
Yes.
Lara landed so many uppercuts, man. And he was throwing with some freaking conviction. Hey, shout out to Wood. I see you, baby. Don't hang up. It's still more callers in front of you, but I even unblocked you, man, so you better show me some love. Let's go out to Boston, Massachusetts.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't pay Showtime to see you all there not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see some motherfucker just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that sport, my dude? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next. What great show. Thumbs up, donate. Yo! Fucking cracking, lacking up in this bitch. Yo. Floyd Mayweather, the Emperor. Palpatine got shit on that nigga. Dark Sidious himself. Order 69, kill all Jedi. Fuck Tank. That's it. Tank, act the fuck out. Anybody who got stocks or fucking anything to do with Tank, abandon ship. It's over. Man career is done. Done, B. That's not even an issue, bro. I give Doom maybe at the end of the year. That's it. No longer than that. You better win, Tank. You better fucking win, buddy. Anyways, I don't pay for my Showtime to see you out there not even putting a goddamn effort. But I don't pay for my Showtime to see people fucking rob either. Fucking trucks got robbed. Big time robbed. I'm always rocking with the UK. Mad love to the UK, baby. But your motherfuckers better back me up here. Where's the fraud department? Ness, where's the fraud department? Connect me to the fraud department, B. What the fuck this DeGale do, bro? What they gonna do? Track fucking DeGale back in England? That's next? Fucking this crave for shit, bro. That shit suck artists. Anyways, fucking Hurd though. Is Hurd pound for pound on the list? Where that nigga on the list?
Pound for pound? Cause he unified?
Yo. You got to squeeze that son of my bitch somewhere there, B. Top 10. I'm not saying he's number one. Hell the fuck no. But I think I gotta be 8, 10, somewhere there creeping after those wins. Somewhere. And he beat Charlo? Nigga, you better fucking put it number 3 or 4. Just based on competition. Just based on name. Not even the performance, just the name, the wins. That nigga gonna be around for a while. And Charlo, I saw that feel in your eyes, B. I wanna see that lion. That so-called lion. Make that happen, B. Make that happen. That's my call. Everybody out there, support, donate. Patreon, baby.
Thank you,
Georgie, as always, brother, thank you for calling in.
Hold up. We got a boomeranger. That's
wait.
Oh, you want to talk about something?
Yes.
Oh, Georgie, you wanted to spark the conversation in you?
No.
No.
That pound for pound shit, I don't care about.
I didn't mean that. I had no idea what you want to talk about.
Well, Hurd Charlo.
Mm-hmm.
You think this year? Because I mean, man, after being in the ring, it's like, bro, you need some time off. You know, we so quickly think these guys could fight 3 times a year, 4 times a year, but that is difficult on this level. Like, think about the amount of punches that Jarrett Hurd took in order to do an immediate fight with Jermell Charlo. Like, he needs to rest, bro. He needs some good rest, too. I know Charlo is scheduled for June, which is 2 months away. And then he's going to need some rest, depending on the nature of his fight.
Mm-hmm.
So is the end of this year even possible for Hurd, who went 12 at the end of the day with one of the most accurate fighters, most difficult fighters? And the accuracy, you know, that needs to be mentioned like to the 10th power, because accuracy translates to very sharp punches that do damage.
It depends whether Hurd wants to go directly into a Charlo fight after coming off a back-to-back 2 wars against back-to-back top 5, top 10 opponents in the division. Obviously, Lara being, you know, number 1 arguably in the division. So I expect Hurd to take some time off. Whether he wants to tune up or not definitely determines whether this fight could happen in this calendar year. If he doesn't want to tune up before the Charlo fight, and again, we don't know who Charlo is fighting in this June fight. I'm not assuming a high-level opponent just because of who is available in the division right now. We're not going to get a super...
Obviously ain't going to be high level. They haven't even announced the dude's name.
Yeah, so I'm not expecting anyone tough.
Even though he does what? What date? Do we know the date? June what? Because it does
June
have
9th?
2 months.
June 9th, I want to say.
Oh, no, so that doesn't give him 2 months, right?
So I think it really depends what Hurd wants to do. If Hurd wants that Charlo fight, they can make this happen in the last quarter of 2018. Absolutely. If you want to stay busy fight or tune up, just, you know.
Oh, my God.
Then it's probably going to be first quarter of 2019. But it's going to happen within the next, I would say, 12 to 18 months.
Leonard Sterling is saying, TBV, have you heard if the rumors are true? Jermell versus Trout in June?
I've heard those rumors again as well.
Yo, that's crazy, bro. Like, Trout, he's going to fight the brother now, too?
Yes.
That I wouldn't recommend that.
Who else in the division?
The smaller brother. I know this is the smaller brother, but wow.
Then who should he be fighting?
Who? Trout?
No, Charlo.
Trout needs to fight J-Rock. That fight was supposed to happen. Those are 2 small junior middleweights. You know what I'm saying? Trout needs to fight Lubin. You know what I mean? Give Lubin a name that
Trout
he needs.
Lubin's good. I like that.
But putting Mel in there with Trout, I guess you're doing Trout a favor, but at the same time, you're cashing him out.
I want to say ESPN reported this.
Still cashing him out, bro.
No, I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying, like, to the veracity of this rumor, it definitely seems like there's some smoke to it, so to speak.
Yo, B. Pauly, shout out to B. Pauly. Yo, he said Trout is a Lions only punching bag. Damn. Yo, Trout is a friend of this show, man. I don't want him to take that fight, yo. Like, he could do something else. Didn't he just come off a loss, though? Trout E-Shake could happen, right? Like, what the fuck? You're gonna throw Trout in there to the Lions, man. That's crazy. You already threw him into the Lions. It's like, yo, why are you gonna do that? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Mr. Infojo.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Infojo.
presented by my brother.
Yo, what's up, my boxing brothers?
What up, Joe?
Yo, man, what up? Hey, what's up, man? Hey, man, give me some of that jerk crow. I got 2 out of 3 this weekend. Give me the crow for the Lara and Hurd fight.
Oh, you picked Lara. That was a good pick, though. That was a safe pick. And who else you lost?
All right, I'm going to start from top to bottom. No, I'm other 2 picks I won. I picked DeGale. Hey, man, about DeGale, man, I think the guy has kind of hit his ceiling, man. I like the other caller said, I could see him getting really hurt. The dude got a lot of heart, but I think he hit his ceiling, man. I don't see him getting any better than what I have seen in the last few fights. That's my problem. So he might be, like as Matt said, the weakest link in the division. J-Rock and Gallimore. I picked J-Rock. J-Rock and Trout would be a good fight. J-Rock did some things, man. He has a pretty good skill set, man. I seen him do something that I only seen Ward do was guy shoot his jab. He catches his jab with his left hand and hits him with the same hand. That's pretty. You got to be pretty good, skillful to do that, to knock down the other person's jab and fire with that same hand and clean. But I think that'd be a good fight. On to Hurd and Lara. Shout out to Hurd. I picked against this guy twice. The guy proved me wrong. Shout out to the DMV. Y'all got one. Y'all should be proud. I do believe, though, youth and size matter. I do believe I had to fight close up until the last round. And I do believe that I seen what Lara was trying to do. He was trying to smother Hurd's power by getting in close, where I seen Hurd slapping with the inside of his glove on Lara, where he couldn't get off until he take a step back to let off a power shot. But I do believe Lara landed the accurate, more powerful shots. But something about Hurd, man, he's a grinder. And like you said about him and Charlo, I don't know. All the guys that he has fought are better and skillful boxers than him, and he still beats them in the end. So I don't know, man. Conventional wisdom, I would pick Charlo, of course. But after looking at this, Tony Harrison, like you said, was a better boxer than him, was winning the fight. Same with Trout, started off. Lara, the same thing. And this dude, in the end, he always beats him, man. So I don't know. I think it is a 50-50 fight. Ness, a question. It was a guy that called in one time. He said he had a program that he can make that so we can track the stats of the callers' picks, so we can get a real true sense of who is picking the best winners at the end of the year, so we can have, somebody could say, man, this motherfucker picked the best. He had the best one picks. You feel me? Charm Stutter, man, it's the bud.
All good. Yo, I actually don't remember who said that. Sorry, brother. It's the bud. But that being said, I just want to pat my own back. I don't think I've gotten any wrong, right? Like, let's be honest. Nah, like ever since I told y'all, like, yo, I'm going to just pick because it's corny to pick with your heart, and then
I
people
feel like
think
I feel like we both had Crow for one fight that we both picked.
Yeah, probably some Eastern European fight that I don't really watch, like Marat Gaziev versus or something.
Again, beside the point. But the point is, we have a boomeranger, Stainless from Nashville, and we're not gonna play an intro again. I think, right?
Well, we normally don't play double intro. What
Okay.
up, Stainless? Matt dropping all types of ball, live air production. He loves to do that.
I do.
That just mean Matt was pulling a cone for me because
of course,
I always love to hear from Info Joe first, man. I'm kind of shocked that he picked Lara. I mean, it was an educated pick, but I don't know why. Like ever since I saw her fight maybe 2 or 3 fights before he fought Harrison, and yeah, he don't have all the fundamentals, man, but that dude has power, man. And he knows how to throw a shot in transition, and he can switch from southpaw to conventional. I mean, he's not clean and polished, but even Georgie mentioned it, and it might just be the blood as we all said, but it would make sense to start talking about her for pound list. I mean, this dude just beat beat out Harrison for I'm sure it was a vacant title, but then defended against Trout because he wanted a big, strong name to defend against on his resume, and he never backs away from trying to fight the best, man, and beat Trout. You know what I'm saying? And as I saw in the TV interviews, as you talked about, he wanted her, but her wanted Lara because he knew he was the best. You know what I'm saying? He was the most feared. And yeah, Charlo's popular. And he was, and as he said on that interview, man, I'm gonna go after him next. And I mean, that would be a good fight for November, in December. I mean, end of November, beginning of December. Like I could see that fight happening that time. They all under pretty much the same management, pretty much the same promotion. So I don't see why that fight couldn't happen, man. But I mean, that dude needs to start being talked about. Like I said, yeah, he doesn't have the cleanest and most refined fundamentals, but the dude is knocking out former champions, knocking down champions. And I mean, yeah, it was a close fight. I mean, and maybe it should have a rematch, but this dude is beating motherfuckers that ain't nobody expecting him to beat, and they still question, and that's kind of like an educated thing now. Like you pick Hurd, and I mean that's going to be a great topic when that fight does come up, on when it starts to bubble as it's starting to do now, because that's going to be a real question: who will win? Because Hurd don't stop, and Charlo, he got that power now, as he say, since he's fucking with Earl, he doing it, and I believe him. And you know what I'm saying. Also, I didn't pick it officially, but I ain't got no crow in a while. I picked Truax on Facebook, talking to people. So I won mine.
Nestor.
All right.
Crow. He wants Crow. Did you not hear him? Were you tuning out there because of the bud?
No. I'm just watching this fight as we're talking, and
which fight?
Stainless did spark something. It wasn't the bud, it was his conversation and something he said, the way that this guy is beating them. And you know what? I am overlooking that because, from the, I guess, uneducated eye, he's losing these fights and coming from behind. But now you got to look. Again, this is my second time watching it. You only watch these things once, but now I'm watching it and I'm admiring more what he's doing, and he's just breaking you down. You can see, yesterday on the live fight chat, I said over and over how sneaky that left hook is, but bro, sneaky was an understatement because he landed that shit so much. At times he landed it and it made Lara want to switch from southpaw to orthodox, because obviously that rib is right out there from the southpaw stance, so it's perfect for that left hook. Bro.
Agreed. And also,
I think he's going to walk anybody down, bro. I mean, it's early to make picks, but how could Jermell stop him from walking them down? I want to see that face off because, again, I didn't even know how big Hurd was compared to Lara until they were, face by face. And then it was like, wow. And he knows how to use his height, bro. It's really, really.
Ness, some tennis.
Yeah.
Hurd reminds me of a guy like, let's say, I'm losing the comparison, but the only one I can bring up is Deontay Wilder. A guy that's not worried about winning a round. What he is worried about is finding his objective. Wilder's is to find that counter right hand knockout punch and then swarm you. Hurd's objective is, I want to tire you out. I want to lay enough pressure on you that I know I'm going to get you exhausted in those later rounds and hurt you. That is my goal. I don't give a fuck about winning a round. I don't care about winning a 7-5 decision. That's not my goal. My objective is to do this to you. It's reminiscent of a guy like Deontay Wilder who's not concerned with winning rounds. It may be detrimental if you're facing a guy that can, figure out your objective and figure out how to counter it and still win rounds. But that's hard to do when you're a guy like Jarrett Hurd. It's hard to do when you're a guy like Deontay Wilder, when you're that force of nature in a way, and you just want your objective, and you're going to do whatever it takes to go to your objective, regardless of whether you win the first 4 rounds or not, regardless if you win a decision. That does not matter. You want to complete your objective, which is to hurt your opponent.
Baltimore.
It's Baltimore, gentlemen. The gods will not save you.
Wood in Baltimore, talk to us.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can.
What's up, Wood?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that fight. Lara had to fight that fight because I'm sure he heard they give him no chance. He just cut the ring off and made the shit and made the ring so damn small and made him fight in the phone booth. So he just had to fight that fight. He had no choice unless he wanted to try to move around and burn his legs out. Burn his legs out, shit. But that was a really good, exciting fight. But I want to talk. I can't even hold y'all. I want to talk about that Gervonta Davis and that Floyd Mayweather Floyd Mayweather situation.
Wood, I'm gonna need you to get off of speaker, Bluetooth, or close your windows or sunroof. I don't know what you got going on, but it is unbearable. Handle it, please. Wood. Really? Wood. Oh, man. And then he'll message me like, bro, I waited 3 hours and blame it on me. Mike in New York, talk to me.
What's going on? Right now, I'm actually in Chicago right now on vacation, but still want to check in. Yo, damn, that fucking fight was so fucking late last night. I was falling asleep through the Truax fight. But yeah, I agree with all you as far as Hurd. He walks people down. He got that power. He walks people down, and he's not scared to lose rounds because he has his objective. So, he's very dangerous to a guy like Charlo. Charlo got that pop. Both Charlos do, but who knows if homeboy will eat that? He just might eat that. So I agree with you, Ness, that maybe it's not fair to have a dude just go right back into another war. Take some time off or a bullshit mandatory. But at least by the end of the year, or if not 2019, they got to do it. So that's pretty much it. And as far as Floyd, yeah, he's playing those mind games because Tank is out of pocket or seemingly so. But at the same time, there's 2 sides to every story. So who knows what's going on behind the scenes, and the Tank is being valid about being pushed too early or not enough or being rushed or whatnot. So, who knows what to believe. But we all know one thing: Tank going to the slaughterhouse if he faces Lomachenko. That's my call.
All right, food for thought, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
What if Tank goes right in there and takes the fight and wins, bro?
You know what that means? It's a
That he's
win.
not
It's a
gonna win?
win-win situation for Floyd because you just have you are now promoting the guy that beat Loma, and the guy that's being seen with Drake. This guy that has all these Instagram followers. Regardless of your beef, you still promote him. You still get a check from his fights. So regardless, you're winning out if you're Floyd.
I mean, but look, it happened that way, right? According to Tank, Floyd didn't think he was going to win the Pedraza fight, but then he did. And then he took him on a tour, and made him into like the Floyd protege and got him so much press. And then all of a sudden, Drake was chilling with you and you got endorsements and you got signed to Under Armour. Like, I don't see how he's like Mike in New York said, man, vacationing in Chicago, there's two sides to a story. I want to know Tank's full story. They need to air it out because I'm looking at this from Floyd's perspective like, bro, I gave you life, man. I gave you life. But we're going out to the 818-428. 818-428 first-time caller. Say your first-time caller. We're going to play this first-time caller intro. If you're watching this on our Boxing Voice channel, subscribe here to our backup channel where we're doing all our live streams at Nestor Gibbs due to copyright infringement. Hit us up at Nestor Gibbs, and you can find that on the featured page along with all the other sister channels. 818-428, first-time caller. (818) 428.
First time caller.
Hey. Hello?
Name and where you're calling from.
Shit. LA, this is Giovanni. Can you hear me?
Yes, but it sounds like you're far away from the phone. Can you
I
speak
hear you,
into the
Giovanni in LA. Giovanni in LA. Talk to us, brother.
Oh, what's up, man? What's good? What's cracking? It's my first time calling.
Shit. Well, let me give you this first time calling intro. You're going to have to introduce yourself again, but you could do some enthusiasm. Act like you're walking into the ring. You know what I'm saying? Ready, set.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Yo, man, this is Gio, 147 pounds, right from South Central LA. What's good, man? What's good, man?
What up?
What's up, Giovanni? Talk to us, brother. What you think of this fight card?
I had a feeling, what's his name? That was it for Lara. He's been holding that belt for too long, and they was just cashing out on him, man. But, I mean, I was hoping he would get the W, but, it is what it is. I mean, Cubans, shit. People don't like Cubans. I mean, I like them, but people don't like them. But, what you call it? That fool, Mayweather, yeah, he probably just tired of, what's his name? Gervonta. But so he wants to make some money off of him already. So he said, "Fuck it, let's throw him in with this guy." But I feel like, at the end of the day, I mean, it's up to what's his name to take the fight, right? Or you gotta fucking what do you gotta do? You think that he gotta say in this shit or not?
Nah, he got to say, but I'm sure,
But it's not about that. It's about the optics of the situation when you say, we are going to make this fight, and then if that fight does not happen, who will the fans then point the finger at as to who's ducking who?
Mm-hmm.
That is what the concern is if you're Tank.
Yeah. All right. For sure. So what's good with y'all, man? What you guys think about this what do you call it? This whole shit? Like, you think it's just publicity or what? Or just like
the Mayweather thing, you mean?
Or what do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Just to get names out or what?
it's definitely publicity to shake Tank up, to let him know that it's a dick measuring
seconds.
A dick measuring contest. He's letting Tank know that he's
he
the
said,
boss.
He said Mayweather and MMA, right? Or do you mean Mayweather and Davis?
No, Davis.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it's a publicity stunt. It definitely seems like it is. There's a reason behind. There's emotion behind this move. It's a power move in a way. It's a way to say, hey, I'm in charge. I'm the authority here. It's that type of move.
60 seconds.
For sure, man. Yeah, dude, I've been listening to you guys for a minute, like at least, I don't know, way back, maybe like 4 years already, but I just haven't had time to call in. Today I had my day off, so I said, let me call you guys and see what's up. But yeah, though, anytime you guys are in LA, dude, let me know. I got my own film business. I do a lot of wedding stuff and all that. So you guys need some stuff, hit me up, man. I'll hook you guys up. You guys know the
Definitely,
body,
bro.
shoot over here. Let me
Send
know,
us
man.
an email, man. Send
Check
us
out
your
my
email.
website, bro.
Send us your email so we can have your contact
check-
info. Giovanni in LA. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for calling in. 4 years listening. Shout out, man. Definitely appreciate that for sure. Send me an email, brother. We could always use another capable man that can handle a camera. You know, I don't want to label you a videographer and and you take offense to that. That being said, we're gonna go out to Gabe from Salt Lake City. Gabe, what's up?
Yo, what's going on, TBV? But shit, man, Showtime's killed it, bro. That was a great ass fight last night, up and down the card. The Truax fight and the DeGale fight, that was kind of a snooze fest. But the Hurd fight and Lara fight, man, that was, you know what I mean? I'm a Lara fan, really wasn't, but yesterday made me a Lara fan, you know what I mean? I want to see him fight again, especially if that's how he's going to be fighting now, countering. It was a close fight, but I had Hurd winning. I don't know, you guys are probably going to clown on me, but whatever. But, you know, Hurd reminds me of like Leo Santa Cruz, you know what I mean? Just like just gets in the guy's face. He's usually taller than his opponent, just right there pressuring. What do you guys think of that analogy?
No, I compared him to Leo on the live fight chat, I believe. I think that's a great comparison. He's a swarmer. He's a guy that wants to pressure you.
But Leo uses his distance. Hurd is all over you.
True, there's a difference in how they do it, but the game plan is still very similar.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know, yeah. Maybe Leo's a little more fine-tuned, but, you know, Hurd, you know, his story's great. He was on another podcast. I did an interview with him, and it was pretty cool. His background story, you know, he wasn't this, like, really known amateur, and then he just came up and unified, and I would still favor Charlo. I think Charlo would just be the better boxer, be able to handle that form better, counter him more, maybe hurt him a little more. But I don't know, dude, because he's huge. He looked like I don't know. Someone else said he looked like a grown ass man compared to Lara. Lara looked like Rigo in there. You know what I mean? But yo, that's my call, man. Go support TVV. All right.
Gabe, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Juan Marshall in the DMV, boxing by the Beltway. He definitely knows Hurd from early on. Juan, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Chilling. You sitting back proud, huh?
I made it home. Yeah, I made it home just in time to catch that fight. I missed the first two fights, but I was covering the Golden Glove, the Washington Golden Gloves going on. So I made it back home, and man, that was a fight. I tell you, it. Sometimes you sit back as a fan, but covering boxing you separate. But this time I got to sit home as a fan, and it's so frustrating sometimes to see Jarrett when he goes to work because he takes a lot of shots. But then again, I calm myself down because I know his game plan, and that's to just he takes shots to give shots, you know. And luckily he didn't run out of time. You know, he those last 37 seconds he needed it, and he made it happen. You know, and I was in his training camp and getting some footage on him, and basically with his scenario when he said Angulo times 10, he was right on with that. You know, he was spot on with that game plan, and he definitely did that. You know, and most people, they overlook the fact that Law, he's a crafty fighter, but he's not the same Law that we saw when he was fighting Canelo and things like that. But he's still ring savvy, and he's very intelligent. And that's the thing that Jarrett was cautious of going into this fight. You know, and that's why he said he's going to take all the time he needed to wear him down, and that he definitely did that.
Yeah, man. I mean, what do you think? I mean, you know him better. You know Ernesto. You got a personal relationship. Do you feel that he is capable of continuing with a unification with Jermell this year, or should he take some time? Because those were some serious blows that he was taking from Erislandy Lara. He got the win, but does he need more than just like the normal 90 days?
I think the way it should play out, even with Al Heyman, I think the way it should play out is let Jermell Charlo shine a little bit more now. You know what I'm saying? Jarrett had his time to get to plateau and unify. Also, now you got to let Charlo do something with the belt that he has. Let him fight some harder competition. You know what I mean? At that top level of being a champion, he's been in some tough fights, but I can't say very, very tough fights. He's in the same predicament as pretty much Jarrett Hurd. He's faced some fighters and things like that, but let him build his resume up a little bit more at the world champion level. And then you let that fight happen.
I could debate that, right? Because I get what you're saying in terms of championship level. I get it because, Hurd has had the unification. That's facing another champion. That's the one thing that Jermell hasn't done. But also Jarrett, I called him Jarrett again. Hurd holds another feather in his cap, which is fighting a former world champion. But if you look at Jermell's resume from top to bottom, it's a little more extensive than Hurd, Jermell has been putting it in for some time now. Remember, he fought freaking, I think he fought Rosado before Peter Quillen did. You know what I mean? Like he did. He's got a good resume overall, with all the names, But I do get what you're saying. Championship
and
level.
Again, you got to look at do you? But my thing is this. Okay, now you got the two top fighters at that level right there. You put Aleem out of the picture, Saddam Aleem out of the picture. And because he's with top rank, and I'm pretty sure that fight would never happen with either Charlo or Jarrett Hurd. So, do you let Jarrett Hurd and Charlo fight right now, and then what's left for the junior welterweight, middleweight division?
There isn't anything.
You don't get the fans that.
Yeah, but there isn't anything left because Hurd told me, and like I've been telling my co-hosts all night, I am not sure if everything has changed because he made this weight at 153, but. Last I spoke to him, he said he wanted to fight Lara, win that belt, and then if he could not unify with Jermell, he had to let it go because it was getting too tough to make the weight. So I don't know if he's told you something different. I know he made weight 1 whole pound underneath the weight. Maybe they did something different in camp and they feel like they can, defend all those belts a little bit longer. But last he spoke to me, he said if he can't get that fight with Jermell by this year, he's out of here. He's got to move up.
Yes. And I think the only big money fight at that weight class is Charlo. And I think maybe he's looking at that. It's more money if he moves up, I think, to give himself another opportunity to make some more money at a higher level.
But that's my point, though. That's my point. Why wait it out if the biggest fight is Charlo and you could barely make the weight? Why wait? Get that fight now before you move up.
Right, That's true. That's exactly true. But then you factor in, okay, where does my stock go if I lose that fight? And do I start at the bottom at 160, or do I go at 160 as a unified champion, leaving 154 going up?
That is a very
stock a little strong.
That is a very intelligent point because if you lose the Charlo, then like if you force yourself to stay at the division to unify with Charlo and lose, your body may not even be able to give you the rematch that you need. So if you don't fight Charlo, at least you move up the way that Jermell Charlo moved up, but you move up and unify. I get your point. I don't know, Juan. What do you say he does? Does he take the Charlo fight or does he vacate and move up?
The thing is, you know what? I couldn't even answer that question. I couldn't even answer it. That's something I would have to wait to hear. I have to wait to hear the news, the breaking news and see what he does. Because if the money is good, of course you take the fight. If the money's good, so then that way financially you'll be okay. going up to 160, and then you work your way up through the ladder. Then, you know, you fight your way up and pick some of those guys out that you need to get to take this step. And I think his name is big enough and credible enough now. It's definitely credible enough that he can go compete at 160 because people know his size. They know his size, they know his power, and they love the Mexican style, come forward, take shots, to give shots. People love that. The fans love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's soon, man. I would like to see if he could, you know, with this newfound titles and unification, maybe he feels strongly or more motivated to kind of make the weight another time or another couple of times, get some defenses down there. Because if you take Charlo and you beat Charlo, it's really open wide for you, right? Like, let's be honest, right? Like maybe he tells Al, yo, I can make the weight. I can make the weight. Al says, all right, then take this Julian Williams fight. That's your mandatory, but that's a lot easier than everything you've been in, you know? And he takes a Julian hometown fight because Julian is from Philly. So that fight makes sense for both fighters to be in the DMV area. You know what I'm saying? And then he comes and fights Charlo, but it's all dependent on that way. But listen, Juan, give everybody your social media, brother, so that they can follow you in the Boxing on the Beltway out there. You're doing a marvelous job for all the amateurs and up-and-coming fighters in the DMV. Brother, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even know who Hurd was, so let's just keep it real.
Appreciate it. Everybody can just follow me. It's very simple. It's just at Pro-Am Fight Talk. That's on Twitter and Instagram. And then Juan Marshall on Facebook.
All right, Juan. Well, thanks for calling in. Brother Matt, this guy covers everybody in that DMV area, man. Yes. I mean, he's been on Lamont Roach and, you know, all those guys, all those young up-and-coming guys that are now with Golden Boy and Top Rank and Al Heyman. It's funny, man. A lot of people putting in a lot of work and hours into this boxing, you know. So, like I said, when he called in, got to be a proud moment, man. When you're with a fighter from the very beginning like that, and then boom, wow, unification. I mean, you know, this win over Lara, this is huge. You know, this isn't Erickson Lubin, a guy that we thought was going to be something. Well, this was someone.
I actually want to talk about that because I think it was Juan that brought it up about moving up first, right? He was the first one who brought up that idea that he could just move up to 160, right, as a unified champion. And let's think about it. He's in a better spot, I think, than even Jermell Charlo when he moved up to 160 in terms of having relevance, having that name on your resume, having, you know, multiple belts. I mean, Jarrett Hurd is in a better spot than Demetrius Andrade and Jermell Charlo. So, in their respective time at 154 when they moved up, is what I mean. So, I think if he wanted to move up to 160 right now, he could. He could absolutely do that. And I think no one would really question it too much in the long run. You might get some of the Charlo fans obviously hating on it. But let's be honest, that just clears up for Jermell to move up as well, which we know he probably wants to do. Because I think he has to cut.
He don't want to move up, and he's good at the weight. Actually, he's trying to reign.
He wants to reign at 154.
Yeah,
that's like reigning at 140 to me. It's like, okay, but there's bigger fights in other divisions nearby. Like, why not take those fights? Maybe just take those fights.
His brother's there, so why do the same thing again? You know, split up the division. You know,
they could be the Klitschko's of 160. Like, that's okay. Be the Klitschko's.
Man, I think he needs to listen, his brother fought Patrick Heelan, and he's going to fight Centennial. I think he needs to give his brother time to do what Jarrett Hurd has done at 54.
But again, that's
actually fight the champions and former champions.
I understand that, and I really don't want to disagree with it too much because I understand that point. My point was really about Jarrett Hurd. Jarrett Hurd's in a great position if he wanted to move up and negotiate for fights and make it happen. And I think we as boxing fans are higher on Jarrett Hurd than a guy like Demetrius Andrade when he moved up to 160. So,
you know, I've been seeing this name in the chat for I don't know how long now, and I never read, and it says weed degree.
You've never noticed that?
No, until today.
Wow, he's a loyal listener, man.
Yeah, and you know what caught me? That he said Charlo smoked more weed than me, which is funny because I was out in Texas. They didn't give me the impression they smoked. I was like, and I came in there smelling like that loud.
They seem too like hyper to smoke.
I was so loud. I was so loud that his videographer, his personal videographer, his name is I think G, the director. G started talking to me, and next thing you know, I was in a studio smoking even more loud, smoking that Texan loud. Shout out to I think it's Tahoe too. I got it in my number in my phone.
What, Tahoe OG?
No. A listener. His name is
okay. I thought you meant like
my
a
Mexican
friend.
friend that hooked me up when I landed in Texas. Nah, B. Paula, whoever you got in Texas gave you some horrible
Yo,
weed.
that's true. Because when we were in Dallas that one time, we got some really good weed.
Yeah, we got fire. My friend, Lily.
Yes.
Shout out to DJ Lily, holding it down. Matt, it's about that time. I'm so excited for tomorrow's.
It's not about that time. You know what we have to do first before anything?
Oh, reviews.
Yes. Come on, Ness.
Reviews.
See, this is why you pay me the big bucks.
Reviews. Let me see something. I actually got a new song here.
Ooh.
Where is it? I sent it a long time ago, so it's probably going to take some time to find. Take some time to... Oh, there it goes. That was quick.
Mm-hmm.
Dollar's going to get mad, too, because this ain't a dollar. Oh, this shit sound like some Wheezy, though, right? Hold on. Let me light that. Yeah, look, Matt, like, damn, he do sound like Wheezy. Oh my god.
Yo, it was that first part. That little like chuckle.
You dig?
No freestyle here, Ness? Or you good?
Oh, you wanted me to freestyle? Okay, here it goes.
Well, I thought you were. I thought you were doing the Wheezy to freestyle as Wheezy.
Hold up.
We're holding.
Turn me up in my headphones, Matt. Hold up. Here we go. Yo. Yo, my favorite podcast of all time is coming to you from my man Sterling Sean. I don't know, but the words go a little bit like this. He said I was introduced to the boxing voice after the Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter fight. And I have been a loyal listener ever since.
Yo, stop. Cut the beat. Cut the beat.
Refreshing and entertaining. The inception of Border Wars is what separates this show from the rest. It's more than a show. It's a family. Bravo, fellas. Yo, that's pretty dope.
Oh, that was a great review, but even greater read by you, Nestor Gibbs. Salute to you.
Here goes another one. We got another 5-star review. I'm very excited because this is all 5-star reviews, right? So we got another 5-star review. It's coming from 92AK in the UK, and it's just a Matt Bart Simpson skin tone okay with the glove. I mean, all right, we'll take it. UK guys, very creative. We're gonna go with another one from the UK. Title, Mr.
Weird title.
It's a 5-star review, so we'll take it. And I can't even begin to pronounce the name. Matt, you should read this one. This is pretty long, but I'll just read the screen name. His screen name is...
You want me to read this one?
Yeah, I didn't read it at all, so I don't even know what's coming. But his screen name is ZZZXXXCCCCVVVV111222. I mean, who really does that? Like, seriously, Matt.
A guy that has multiple accounts, like Igloo, the many-faced god. Yep.
Go ahead, Matt. Take it away.
Hi, Ness. I would never really comment on shows, but I have been listening since day one. When you had the Boxing Diva on the show, miss her great female educated opinion on boxing. Without a doubt, the best boxing podcast I've heard, and believe me, I have been listening to them all for years. I just wanted to ask why Matt, also a great host, hardcore boxing fan with great dedication to the sport, seems to be trying to disagree with you and want to argue over and over again with everyone and cut off the callers and other hosts and win by talking the loudest. Let me finish, seems to be his favorite words, but he needs to tell himself that. Also wanted to ask, are you the truck driver that used to call in to the Boxing Blitz before you had your own show? ? If so, you're an inspiration to have come so far, even with all the haters you have. P.S. Keep up the good work, Ness, Matt, and Casual Fan. Brilliant documentary you have been making, Camp Life. Sky Sports have stolen your Camp Life title, but no one really knows the truth. It's yours. Nathan from London, can I get a shout out on your next show? Well, Nathan, even though You criticize me. Shout out to you, Nathan from London. Salute. Oh, did we both play at the same time?
I don't know. Jinx, you can't talk.
But hold
Matt,
on, I want to
you read
answer
the
him.
next one?
I want to answer his criticisms. Do I disagree with Ness all the time and argue over and over again with everyone? Yes. Yes, you are absolutely right. We can move on now.
Yo, I wonder if we're gonna get copyright for that beat.
Oh, we already got copyright for from CBS on Facebook.
I know they don't want you giving the scorecards.
Yo, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yo, this one, Matt, I need you to read it because this one is this is from Dempsey. I wonder if it's the same Dempsey.
It is the same Dempsey.
Because this is Speak It, Believe It, Receive It, baby. The Stern Show of the Boxing World. 5-star review on iTunes by Dempsey52, a U.S. listener. He dropped it on April 5th. Matt, take it away.
I've been following this show for a few years now, and I am more than convinced it reminds me of listening to the Howard Stern Show when he was on free radio back in the day. And I say that with huge respect, too. For those who don't know, Stern's nickname is the king of all media. I remember Stern televised a boxing match between Crazy Cabby and Stuttering John back in 2002. Now the Boxing Voice has developed their own Border Wars boxing matches. I just want to say before I go on, this is myself talking, the fact that he compared like guys like Jose and Cruz to Crazy Cabby and Stuttering John makes my day. But I'll continue. Now the Boxing Voice has developed their own Border Wars boxing matches, featuring the hosts and callers themselves boxing each other, where it can be viewed on patreon.com/The Boxing Voice, by the way. Now I say that is something I respect very much because I used to compete as a local amateur in the LA area in Golden Gloves tournaments and local shows. Getting in the shoes of fighters, there's nothing like it. Nestor Gibbs leads the show with confidence. Matt the Hipster Hunter is a great co-host and sometimes disagrees with Ness. Let me interject here with my own words. I always disagree with Ness. Which makes it for an interesting show when they get into debates. Enrique Casual Fan Church provides the comedy and has some good things to say at times too. Shots fired.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Alex Doomsday Lyons has been a great addition to the show, especially since he has his experience as an amateur boxer. Some people don't like the back and forth debates, but I do. The different viewpoints are a good example of how boxing can be subjective and how not all of us see the same thing when watching a fight. The show has a lot of... What, Ness?
Now, I was just trying to be creative, right? Because he said boxing can be subjective. Boom. So I hit him with the, you don't know shit about boxing, right? Because, like, that's how it is. That's what the show is about. Like, someone has an opinion and then someone else comes on. Like, I'm glad I came on after that last caller because he said some, that's how it normally is.
And he said, I did get a chance to meet these guys briefly in Vegas for the live Chivas show at Beer House for Canelo Triple G in 2017. # never forget. And they were excited and made me feel like family right away. Keep pursuing the dream, TBV. Man, too bad we ain't going again.
I know, man.
That's
fucking Canelo and his fucking meat. Next one is a good show. Could be a lot better. And it comes from T. Leon 90 in the UK. I'm going to give you 5 stars because I want to support the show, but Ness does allow his romantic feelings for Beyonce Windmill to cloud his biggest shows, which are frankly the AJ podcasts. He mocks nearly all the UK fans for being so-called AJ protectors if he doesn't like their point. He shouts over them and overlooks the bias that the majority of the US callers typically have for their fighter Beyonce.
UK coming for you, Ness.
Yo, funny you played Tekashi because shout out to Russell on Skype. He said, I think Tekashi is Georgie's spirit animal.
Yo, it's so true. It's so true, man.
That's hilarious. So, Georgie, take pride in that, yo, because we rock out with Tekashi around here. I know some of y'all don't, but I do.
You can talk hot on the internet, boy.
That's that goofy shit. We ain't into that, boy. So I'm just saying, because I'm just saying, like, this guy, right? Like, he's really gonna write a review saying how I'm biased, and then he incriminates himself as an AJ protector.
Yo, you're doing it right now. You're doing it right now.
No, but it's the truth, though.
It's the truth.
You have to. It's
the truth.
You can call me. Listen, Matthew. You can call me biased. You can, but you do not have to incriminate yourself as a AJ protector. This is not even undercover. Whenever you call a fighter Beyonce Windmill, well, we know you're not a neutral fan.
Yes.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
Yeah, I agree.
And then at the end, he says U.S. callers typically, right? So he's stereotyping, right? Not just the host anymore. Okay. So then he ends it with parentheses Beyonce again. So like, I mean, sure, I'm biased, but you have obviously showed your hand, my friend. You've showed, and that's why I played the soundbite, because it's like you could talk that shit on the internet, boy. Anyway, next review, and I just want to say thank you. That's why we're taking the time to read all of these, because these are amazing. You can't let these 1-star losers.
Whoa. He gave you 5 stars still.
No, I know.
Oh.
I'm saying that's why I'm so happy. Yes. Because, you know, if you guys don't go out there and go the extra mile and write the reviews, the haters that are simply mad that, you know, Laura lost today, you know, and we picked Hurd on the panel Thursday. So it's like, fuck them, 1 star. So, you know, we need the true listeners to go out there and show that support. Like this one, it says Boxing School. That almost sounds like Dominique's call. 5-star review, iTunes review. It's Z Tres. I don't know. I guess Z Nice. Maybe it's Z Nice.
Yo, sure.
He's in 3s as E's. I don't even know. It is what it is. He says, man, this podcast is an absolute godsend. It's super entertaining. The hosts are knowledgeable and allow their personalities to shine through each episode, Matt.
Whenever you say you allow someone's personality to shine through,
just gotta like let that sink in. I hear you, brother.
Yeah.
Also, all the content is digestible, which makes the transition from being a casual to a hardcore fan very easy and enjoyable, Matt.
Yeah, I believe that is probably one of our best qualities as a show.
I told you the other day I love my life, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, they called our show school, baby. We're going to be giving out diplomas pretty soon.
We do give out awards every year.
We do that. We give awards out every year.
Yes.
We haven't picked the fight though. We need a bank. Come on, AJ Parker.
Well, Ness, to be fair, we did have one. It's got canceled.
Yeah, we were gonna have one. Canelo ruined that again. Tainted meat.
Yeah. Shout out to the beef.
Okay, where was I?
Just that moment for Canelo and Triple G2. Because that's never happening again.
Wrapping up, he says, bless up and keep up the greatness. Damn, strong words, my man. One last thing, everyone. Join me in being a part of the Patreon fam to support these fellas. Oh, shit. That was good.
Yo, and on a personal level, when anyone says like bless up or anything like that, I really like it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Makes me get it makes me get religious for a moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you gonna play like the Heavenly Choir beat?
Oh, I fucked up.
I got this new sound bite, and I just don't know when I'm gonna use it. But I think that was the right time.
So you can't force a new sound bite. You can't
No,
force it.
I think that was the right time. And he was like, bless up. Join me in the Patreon movement. And it was like, support these fellas. It was just like, maybe. I don't know if this is the right one.
They say by now that I'll be finished. Hard to tell. I can tell. My little 15 minutes lasting long as hell.
Long as hell. I remember they like, yo,
pretty good.
I'd like whack. You going on twice a week. That you oversaturated.
Yo, I remember that.
You're gonna bleed the market. Nobody's gonna want to listen to you because you're talking too much. And look, It's funny, man. I just want to thank everybody for these reviews. You know, this makes me a Matt's day. So the last one comes, and it's titled "The Voice of the People." 5-star review, and it comes from Nelly in the BK. And it's another USA review. So shout out to the USA coming through strong. All countries we can read them. So where are all these foreign countries, all these Malaysias and all this stuff that people call in on Skype? Stop being greedy with the reviews, okay? And his was short and sweet. It could be like that. He said TBV for life. I mean, what more do I want, Matt? That's like those dudes that go around tattooing Mayweather's face on their arm and shit. Like, that's just same for me.
Well, it's absolutely free and takes a minute to do. And if you want some free and very easy things to do to help out TBV, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and share the show. Those simple things go so far on the internet and in the digital realm.
So far. And I got a couple of other simple free things. You could just go to ThaBoxingVoice.com/affiliate sponsors.
Ooh.
Use our Amazon link whenever you're going to buy whatever you buy. I mean, I buy everything from Amazon. I'm going to probably do my shopping from Amazon. I can't wait for overtime tomorrow. We got an amazing overtime show. Yo, Ness is going to be breaking some news. And it ain't going to be boxing because it's not an overtime show. But like, essentially what's happening is we're eliminating overtime. Let's just be honest. You know.
Whoa. My baby's dying?
I mean, it's not that it's dying. It's just so difficult. We already do 3-hour shows, and we're here on the East Coast. Then you want me to go another hour? It's like, whoa.
I don't know if I can take this.
We're going to start doing overtime. Will just turn into what it originally was. It was originally always untitled.
Yeah.
Where we just talk about whatever.
And overtime, we thought it would just be easier to do it right after the flagship show when we're all together.
Yes, and we thought it would be easier, and that didn't work. Why? Because it's hard work, dedication, and everybody wants to be Mayweather, but they ain't ready to work like Ness and Matt to be Mayweather. That being said, Ness and Matt will be here Monday, 7 p.m. on Patreon, live, talking everything under the sun, and that is part of the 10 Commandments now. So you can always find that there and know that you'll get some sort of talk. And I'm telling you, I'm breaking huge news tomorrow on a TBV personal level. So you're gonna want to be there for that. You don't want to miss that overtime episode. It's gonna be crazy.
Look, why don't I know the news?
We gotta find a better name. You know that I was actually thinking something like Ness and Matt, something like that, and then whatever it is. I know it sounds really generic.
No, it does. Hey, very quickly, in terms of marketing, even though the listeners might not care, people do sort of name their stuff after themselves. It's a way of SEOing and marketing. To like the Joe Budden podcast is now named the Joe Budden podcast when a year ago it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, it's really Matt holding us back though. He's like an anchor right now.
Whoa, that's not even remotely true. I am the glue.
He's on the other side of the world, and it's slowing us up. All the big wigs are in studio. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know that guy's name. Duce Moreno. I mean, Joe Buttons. Joe Buttons actually looks horrible, right? Like, not horrible because I would swap with his studio, but it really looks like a living room.
And that's not their first studio. They had to move.
That looks like just like a living room, and it's like, oh, Buttons coming over to do the show, and they go in the closet and get the guitar mic stands out and just push the mic wherever you feel like sitting today. It looks so whack, man. But whatever. Listen, don't forget that we are live streaming this on the backup channel to do our live streams due to copyright infringement. It has fucked our world. So head on over to Nestor Gibbs' channel and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell so you get those notifications. While you're there, thumbs up a video, share it because we need your help now to get this out in front of the world, right? Everyone now needs to know this is the new place to go. Unless Sky Sports can find it ever so kind in their heart to help us, which I doubt.
And very quickly, if you listen to this back on either the podcast playback or on the actual The Boxing Voice YouTube channel, and you want to find that Nestor Gibbs channel, again, it's in the featured channel section on the homepage of The Boxing Voice on YouTube. to the right of everything. You can't miss it. It has my channel, Enrique's, Doomie's, and of course Nestor Gibbs. It says Nestor Gibbs on it. It says the Boxing Voice logo. You cannot miss it. And you can still see all of these live streams live and be in the YouTube chat and enjoy the community and TBV fam. Hashtag the same as you did on the regular channel.
True. So I guess, Matthew, it is time.
Yes, it is.
No more final thoughts. That's really it. It's just my social media, NestGTO, Instagram, Twitter. See you.
I am Matt, the Hipster. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. And of course, patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. Get hours and hours and hours of extra content. And of course, help support your favorite boxing channel directly and be our board of directors. Be the people that directly have input into what the show is, what the channel is, what the brand is, and be part of the TBV community. Peace.
Shout out to our masterminds, Ron and Kenyatta, who is our most recent mastermind. Definitely having a hand in the behind the scenes.
If Gervonta Tank Davis win that fight, I already spoke to Todd DeBuff from Top Rank. We look forward to we look forward to Gervonta Tank Davis fighting Lomachenko after this fight. We know.
What is up, TBV family? Yes, YouTube has been cutting funding to their channels as of late, and with net neutrality going through its process, the internet is changing. If you want to keep your favorite channel intact, coming up with tons of content, and plus get hours and hours of extra content, head over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice to become a member of the TBV family and help support the channel. Peace.
No other sight in the game can see the boxing voice.